Yeah. What's up, everyone? Steelers fans, welcome to our second version of Pittsburgh's DSEN Black and Gold post-game show. And you know what? We are 2-0. I'm talking about this post-game show since we've been doing it live here at Cloud 33. Pittsburgh, PA, in the Penn Hills Shopping Center. You still have time. Yes, you do. Because we are here for the next 3 hours breaking down the game. And we do not want to do it by ourselves. We want you to call in. We want you to text. We want to hear your voice. We want to get your information, your comments on the game. My name is Kevin Cameron, and I'm here with a couple guys. This is their first post-game show. And I'm going to start off to my left, and you see his name on the screen as well, Mr. Ken Craig.
What's going on, Kev?
Hey.
That was, we wrapped that one up nice and early today.
Yeah.
No worries, no concerns.
We were hoping that, right? We were hoping that.
We didn't do it the Steelers way. You know, it's never easy. It
drama,
is never easy.
From a game standpoint. Mike Tomlin, he just likes the close games.
Yeah.
He likes the close games, you know. So yeah, we'll have to get all the comments regarding what happened in that game. There's quite a few. There's been some progress from this team that we need to talk about.
Yep.
Progress in one big area anyway that I'm gonna keep up my sleeves that we'll talk about. Also, everyone, welcome to the program. The guy to my right, Mr. Smokin Jim Frazier. What's up, my man?
Hey, thanks, Gab. Y'all got me in a bad seat. I'm sitting under number 33. I keep waiting for Eugene Wilson to slam dunk it over my head. He's known as one of the WPIL's all-time great leapers.
Yeah, and that's why the cloud is so applicable, right? You know, you have clouds in a number of different ways. You have clouds when it comes to smoking, right? Those cigars and everything. But also, he was in the sky, is what you're saying. So he was among the clouds, right?
Yes, sir.
From a basketball standpoint. And you know, Smokin Jim, I asked him a question last week about what kind of stogie he was smoking, and he felt the test. he felt the test last week. He already, you know, he's trying to give me the answer already this time, but we'll call him up here and get the official answer of what kind of stogie he has queued up early today. What time is it? It's 1:02 Eastern Standard Time, so 1:02 p.m. here in Pittsburgh, PA. And as I indicated, everyone, the call-in number. Okay, we want you to call in. So the call-in number is on the screen, 412-213-8995, or you can text us at 412-218-3888. So, fellas, the Steelers are 3-1.
Ooh.
3-1. And even though this was technically a home game, right, from a schedule standpoint, or you could call it a road game, or you could say it was a neutral site. All right. All I know is the Steelers are 3-0. Yeah, 3-0 away from Acrisure Stadium. You know, good teams win on the road.
Yeah.
Am I right?
That's, yeah.
Good teams.
This was a big win.
Yeah.
I mean, this was I think for the Rooney family and the Pittsburgh Steelers, this was one of those games that they've been trying to get on the schedule for a long time, and it means a lot not only for the Rooney family, but for the entire Pittsburgh organization or Pittsburgh Steeler organization. So even though I do see it as a road game, those fans showed out today.
Well,
They did.
Ireland didn't want them back after they got the brakes beat off of them 12 years ago. So maybe they'll invite them back, sooner
Well,
this
they
time.
showed up and showed out this time. Well, this was actually the first regular season game played in Ireland. So you're
Right.
referring to which game?
They lost to Minnesota 12 years ago.
12 years ago. That was in London, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, because this was the first regular season game played in Ireland. So, um, Ken, let's go ahead and start with you as we have the games going on here at Cloud 33. We'll keep everybody posted as far as the scores and everything as well. Philadelphia and Tampa Bay, they just started their game. But Ken, yeah, what sticks out to you from a Steeler victory standpoint?
Yeah, that's I think a couple things. I think Aaron Rodgers is definitely he's coming in. Yes, he's been a leader of this team, and I've said that on our Tuesday show. But to see how he's molded into this offense, it's been very nice to feel like he's never not been the Steelers quarterback. Even though I wish we had him in his prime, um, he just looks like he belongs there right now, the way he's leading. However, finally getting DK some passes over the middle. I think he's shown it on his 80-yard touchdown reception. It was a nice slant across the middle. Um, that needs to be something that we have in our game plan every single week. We have one of the strongest wide receivers in the league. Let him catch the ball in the middle and run with it. He's number one in the league in yards after catch. Just give him the ball, feed him the ball. And speaking of feeding the ball, we fed Kenny G today. We
Big time.
fed Kenny G today. Finished with 19 carries, 99 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
I wish he could have gotten 100 yards.
Yeah.
It's just something about that century mark that makes you feel good. That just makes you feel good. And so yeah, you're saying 99 yards.
Yep.
Probably if we could have gotten that touchdown, that fourth and goal from the 3-yard line, he would have gotten over 100 yards,
Yep. On the ground. He
or
also
at
had.
least 100.
Yeah, he would have had I'm sorry, he had 6 receptions for 35 yards as well. So, total yards for the game, 134, but
2 TDs,
2 TDs.
huge.
First 2 touchdown game for Kenny Gainwell.
Yeah.
Man, just an overall great game by him. He looked really good. And with his cuts today, he looked good finding holes today. It was just a totally different run game than what we've seen the first few weeks.
And you mentioned Aaron Rodgers too. Aaron Rodgers, 18 for 22, 200 yards, 1 TD, was sacked two times. I'm going to throw it over to you, Smokin Jim, your initial reaction, your comments on the game.
Well, I think Jordan Addison hurt the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is a guy that 3 years ago I said the Pittsburgh Steelers needed to draft him. They still looking for a second receiver. Now, I'm not sure if I got a player who got a drinking problem if I take him to Ireland, but he was over here and I guess everything's okay. Hey, listen, the Steelers got to get it together. Their defense was soft and cheesy for the first part of the season. Now it's a bend but don't break defense. You're not paying them to be a bend up, not break defense. You're paying them to be the steel curtain, the doomsday defense, the purple people eaters, the Legion of Boom, and I don't know if they'll ever get to that level.
Okay, but they made the plays as usual, Smoking Jim, when they needed to make the plays. Now, when I take a look at the stat sheet here, you mentioned Jordan Addison. He did have that big 81-yard touchdown. Not touchdown. Thank goodness it wasn't a touchdown. I've give a lot of credit to Peyton Wilson for not
Yeah.
giving up on the play.
For someone
Right.
who has struggled this year so far, and has caught a lot of grief from fans and media, um, he busts it every play, and with his 4.3 speed as a linebacker, he never stops. You'll never see him stop on a play. So it was really good to see him chase down Jordan Addison.
Fastest linebacker at the combine since Shazier.
Yeah.
Maybe we got our next Shazier
Yeah.
and Peyton Wilson.
Well, he has a long way to go because he was actually I think he was benched the last 2 weeks if I'm not mistaken. I think Cole Holcomb actually started today. I know he started last week as well. And I'm not giving up on Peyton Wilson.
He had a great game today.
I thought so.
Yeah.
Don't forget when they drafted Jack Lambert out of Kent State, they drafted him not as a middle linebacker because he was too skinny at 210, 6'5". They drafted him to replace Andy Russell. And when Henry Davis, an all-pro, retired, they moved Lambert to the middle, had Joe Green pinch in. You got to play young players.
Smokin Jim, you're going way back.
Yeah, you got to play young players and let them work through it and coach them on film.
And
what Peyton Wilson was doing is coachable. He got better today. He played very well today. You can't sit him on the bench for somebody that almost got their leg amputated.
But he's back.
And expect that.
Cole Holcomb is back.
Well,
and he's playing good football.
Yeah,
and now
he almost got his ankles broke last week too.
Was he actually benched or was he taken off the run game? Because I know
he was benched.
Okay, and
he was benched. Peyton Wilson was clearly benched. Now they had a different role for him today. I thought he came in on obvious pass situations.
That's what I was gonna. Because he's a good.
Okay.
He's a decent. He's had his struggles, but I feel like his strengths are more in the pass game. He was getting eaten alive in the middle, on the run game.
Yeah.
So
and since we're talking about Peyton Wilson as well, when I take a look at the stat sheet, this is good to see. He had 13 total tackles.
Oh,
yeah,
8 solo.
Eight solo and 2 tackles for loss.
Yeah, big game,
which is key. So that's good to see. Now, I would like to see Peyton Wilson be the starter in the middle. Don't get me wrong. However, I think that this is a developmental time for him. So we'll see coming. The Steelers have not a break, but a bye next week. Okay. So maybe after the bye, he'll be reinserted as the starter on this particular defense. But
the defense been on the bye all season long.
Well, I mean, they took the ball away 5 times last week. And how many times was it? 2 times today that they took the ball away?
2 times, yep. Well, 2 interceptions, and we didn't have any fumble recovered. No, Jalen Ramsey's was called back.
Yeah,
so.
two interceptions, and they could have had a fumble.
And Carson Wentz is on his 8th team? So taking credit for Carson Wentz?
Yeah, but, Minnesota has a good team. They have a lot of good weapons. We already mentioned Jordan Addison and also the other wide receiver, Justin Jefferson, as well. Both of those wide receivers end up going over 100 yards. Justin Jefferson led the team 10 receptions for 126 yards with 11 targets. A lot of those catches occurred on the first drive as well.
Yep.
Jordan Addison had 4 receptions for 114 for 81, but that screwed a whole lot with that 81-yard busted coverage.
Yeah, he still got it though.
That the Steelers have. But for the most part, for most of the game, Jordan Addison, a pick guy. I'm a pick guy as well. But for the most part, the Steelers kept them in check outside of that one long reception on the busted coverage that he had. So I'm going to watch the board. And Ken, the board is over by you as well. If a call pops up, please let me know, and we'll go ahead and accept the calls. Again, everyone, the number is on your screen, but I'll give it anyway. 412-213-8995. Let us know what you think about this game. This game was one where we thought it should be a relaxing victory. However, it did not turn into a relaxing victory. And I think the turning point from that standpoint was the 4th and goal from the 3-yard line in the 4th quarter. And the Steelers and Mike Tomlin decided they were kind of uncertain if they wanted to kick a field goal or if they wanted to go for it. And after second or third thought, Mike Tomlin said, let's go for it. Aaron Rodgers was actually trying to convince Mike Tomlin to go for it, and he convinced them, and we ran the ball, Gainwell ran the ball for 2 yards, but couldn't get in, and turned the ball over to Minnesota. I mentioned during the play, I didn't have a problem with going for it, okay? I just had a problem with the play call.
Yep.
I mean,
And I agree with that.
yeah, you have Aaron Rodgers, right? Put the ball in, I'm not going to say your best player's hands, right? But put the ball in your most experienced guy's hands.
Well, and we've been very successful in the red zone this year. We have players like tight end Darnell Washington. We got DK Metcalf. Those players that can typically, um, what do they call it in basketball, where you box out and do a jump ball, right? And I feel like that kind of call would have been better, even though we were running quite well. I still feel like that was I don't know. Hindsight's 2020, but even in the moment, I didn't like that run call either. I liked the fourth down call, but did not like the run call.
Yeah, 4 minutes and 14 seconds left in the game. The Steelers were up at that particular time, 24 to what was it, 13? Was it 13?
14, I think. 14.
14. So 10 points. Yeah, 24 to 14 at that time. And I'm sorry, if you can't protect the 10-point lead with 4 minutes left in the game, that's why I didn't have a problem going for it right there. But other people might think different. We have the owner of Cloud 33, Gene Wilson, who thinks different. We already know that. He felt as though that the Steelers should have kicked the field goal.
Yep.
But it was still been a two-score game, right? If you kick the field goal, the Steelers will go up 13 versus 10.
But I think the big difference there is you're forcing them to score 2 touchdowns
Sure.
rather than a touchdown and field goal, right? I did want to share a stat here that I just saw come through my feed.
Okay.
We were talking about Peyton Wilson just a moment ago.
Yep.
When he tracked down Jordan Addison,
Uh-huh.
Peyton Wilson's max speed, saving a touchdown, he hit 22.48 miles per hour.
Whoa.
That's the fastest top speed by a linebacker since 2017.
Wow. Smokin Jim, you caught it. You said he was what, the fastest?
Fastest since our middle linebacker since Ryan Shazier at the combine.
Yeah. Yeah. So hey, we needed all of that speed today on that play. And one of the things we will do, everyone, during this broadcast, we'll be bringing all the interviews as well from the Steelers locker room. So during the break, we'll see if we'll have Mike Tomlin's press conference that we'll be able to share with everyone. Okay. Also, we'll see how many player interviews that we'll be able to share with everyone as well. So if you're listening on our radio stream, we are on YouTube. All you have to do is go to YouTube and put in your search bar, Pittsburgh's with a apostrophe, DSEN, and go to our YouTube channel, and you'll see the three of us. Okay. Myself, Ken Craig, and Smokin Jim Frazier. So, but if you can't get to YouTube for whatever reason, we definitely enjoy having you on our radio stream. And again, we are here until 4 o'clock. We're doing 3 hours of post game. And again, we'll be bringing you all the interviews. So you don't have to switch on the TV to try to catch the interviews. We'll bring it to you here. All right.
Just wanted to note Calvin Austin, the wide receiver. Calvin Austin was left the game with a shoulder injury. It was reported that he was loaded into an ambulance in the tunnel to go to the hospital for the injury. It was also noted that Croke Park, the stadium which they played, does not have an X-ray machine. So that's just, to note, it may not be as serious as it would be if they were playing in the U.S. because most of those stadiums do have X-ray equipment and medical facilities in the stadium. So he may have just gone for the X-ray, that is pretty normal for that kind
Well,
of injury.
that stadium was built 1913. 1913. I'm surprised it didn't collapse during the game.
Well, you know what? Funny as it sounds, that's probably the one of the best stadiums in the world.
That turf was bad.
What's the turf?
Everybody was getting hurt on that turf, slipping,
Yeah.
sliding,
Yeah, they were
getting hurt. A
slipping
lot
and
of
sliding.
injuries, hamstrings.
Yeah,
That turf was
but my
horrible.
point is, it's just like appliances, Smokin Jim. My old washer and dryer was much better than my new washer and
Yeah.
dryer.
Yeah. Hey, we're getting some comments here on our YouTube chat.
Okay.
Who to goat said he has two comments here. He said Mike Tomlin made some terrible decisions, and I'm waiting for him to tell us which
The
ones.
goat, you said.
Who to goat?
Who to go?
Who
Okay.
dug goat? Yep.
Okay.
And then he said Wilson is not an NFL middle linebacker. Move him to outside linebacker. He was too small.
Interesting.
What do you think about that Wilson
Interesting.
comment?
Um, I think the game has changed. I understand why the Steelers went out and got Peyton Wilson, and that was for coverage.
Mm-hmm.
So he definitely needs to improve his run stopping. I thought he played a good game, like you two said today. Hopefully, moving forward, he'll be better. Okay. Um,
I mean, keep in mind, he was a Buckus Award winner at NC State.
yeah.
Like
But
you're
keep
not.
in mind that's college too.
Well,
The NFL
but
is totally different.
true.
There's
No, and
there's yeah.
you have to be a good linebacker to win that award.
Uh-huh.
Now, like you said, coming to the NFL, can he play the middle? Probably not on
Yeah.
rundowns. We're learning that, but on pass downs, he's been really strong.
And I'm curious, Ken, from the person that sent that comment, I'm curious which calls were bad. Which calls were bad?
That's why I noted that he said Mike Tomlin made some terrible decisions. I actually asked him, which do you think were bad decisions? So waiting on his response
Yeah.
there, and I'll update everyone once we do get some insights here from who to go.
All right. And the bottom line, a lot of people had the Steelers losing this game, to be honest with you. A lot of the national experts that I saw. I'm not sure. What did you see as far as people picking a game?
I know it was pretty split.
Well, Vegas had, I believe, the Minnesota Vikings, 3.5 point favorites. The way they destroyed the Cincinnati Bengals last week, 48 points.
Yeah.
That's an awful lot of points. And if they could duplicate that against the Pittsburgh Steelers, nobody thought the Pittsburgh Steelers could match them point for point. Like you said,
Mhm.
Kevin, that offense for the Minnesota Vikings is phenomenal. We don't even talk about TJ, the tight end, is outstanding.
Hawkinson, yeah.
The running back is outstanding. So the two receivers are all pro caliber. But, and Pittsburgh has been, up and down.
Well, there's a couple things that we have to include with that performance the Vikings had last week, right? Number one, it was against the Bengals. Okay, that
You have
Bengals.
a backup quarterback
That,
in.
not only that, but they arguably might have the worst defense in the NFL. Okay, Dallas, you're giving them a run for their money too. But also, the Vikings had 5 turnovers last week, and that could be misleading, that 48 points, because the offense didn't really have to do much, okay, from a passing standpoint anyway. I know they ran the ball effectively last week, okay? Coming into the game, I did take a look at that, and I believe the Steelers and the Vikings were the only 2 teams that had 5 takeaways last week. And isn't it something that the 2 teams that have 5 takeaways were the 2 teams going up against each other today? Now, one small tidbit as well that people need to realize, which is very important, the Steelers put the ball down on the carpet, okay, maybe 1 or 2 times a day, but they didn't lose any possessions, right? They didn't have any turnovers. And that's huge. And when you talk about Mike Tomlin, that's the type of ball that Mike Tomlin likes to play. Take the ball away, but don't give it away.
Right, right.
Right.
We had one fumble, forced fumble. It was Aaron Rodgers on that scramble that um, Jones picked up. He was running right behind him. So yeah, we were able to recover that one. But if we're, what does he always say? If you win the turnover battle,
Right.
the chances are much greater to
Turnovers
win the
kill.
game. Yep.
Turnovers kill. And I've always said that. And, the last two games is been huge from a Steeler standpoint. Now, one of the things I wanted to point out as well, and I want to get the official stats up. Also, the Steelers actually ran the ball for a change effectively. 29 carries as a team, 131 yards. So those were legitimate 131 yards.
Yeah, 4.5 yards per carry too.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
And to give you an example why I say legitimate, a lot of times when teams run for over 100 yards, for example, or do well on the ground, the quarterback component is a big part of that. Like last week, I think the quarterback for New England, Drake May, he had 45 yards on the ground, and they
Yep.
had over 100 yards. With the Steelers here, Aaron Rodgers had 8 yards. So when I take a look and see that the Steelers had 131 yards rushing, it was basically all running back production. And I question the last 3 games, the decision to play Kenneth Gainwell as much as he's been playing. Okay, Jalen Warren was out today, so there was no choice but to go with him. But Kenneth Gainwell played a really good game today.
Yes, he did. And I tell you what, let's talk about Aaron Rodgers in the first half. He had about 10 passes completion in a row.
Yeah.
He was hot, but the rookie bust, Caleb Johnson, dropped the easy one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can't believe he got a
You
helmet.
calling him a bust already?
Oh, this guy got the vision to see Biscuit. I told you on draft day
I think
that if there was 12 rounds, I wouldn't draft him. He runs a 4.8 40. He's terrible in the passing game. He almost got himself killed on kickoff return.
4 or 5.
I've never listen. I've looked at every game he ever played at Iowa, and if he can run under 4.8, you know what I mean. Casey Hampton right now can give him a run for his money.
See, I'm gonna battle you there. I am a Caleb
He's
Johnson.
built like Tarzan and plays like James.
I think
hey, he's a bust. I would listen.
I think
he had his longest run that he's ever going to have today, and that was 7 yards. You know, he's averaging less than 2 yards a carry.
Well, he did have a 9 yards.
Now.
Give him credit for a couple more.
I
Give
would
him a 9
trade
yard
him
run.
right now while his trade value is high.
I think the game's moving a little too fast for him. He's a rookie. I know.
And for a running back?
Yeah, I think the game's moving a little. It's a what did we just talk about? We just said, hey, Peyton Wilson was good in college, but now he's a pro.
Right.
So we got to look at the same for a running back too. Hey, he was good in college. He was really good in college. Now he's a pro. It's a harder game, right? So things might just be a little too fast for him. He's messed up a little bit. He's got to get his confidence back. I believe in him. I think things just need to slow down.
He reminds me of Frank Pollard.
But he had 6 rushes for 22
yards. He
yards.
reminds me of Frank Pollard.
I hope he is a Frank Pollard.
I love Frank Pollard.
I hope he is a Frank Pollard.
I love Frank Pollard.
Number
but he was
44.
Slow. He was slow.
But he was productive.
Number 30. Frank
Pollard?
Yeah, number 30.
Okay, I'm not sure why I'm thinking.
No, you got to be great to wear 44.
I thought he was 40.
You got to be great to wear 44.
We're gonna have to look that up.
I don't make mistakes.
With 5 minutes left in the first quarter, the New York Giants are leading the Los Angeles Chargers 7-0. Jackson Dart with a rushing touchdown.
All right, my number 1 rated quarterback coming into the draft.
All right, fellas.
Jackson
So we have maybe 3 minutes before we take our first break of the day, and again during the break we'll look for Mike Tomlin's interview, post-game interview, and any other interviews coming out of the Steelers locker room in Ireland. When are they coming back, fellas? Do we know? Are they staying until tomorrow
That's
our
a good
time?
question. I'm not sure
Or if
about
they can
that.
get Brett Keisel out of the bar, they
I saw that.
They can fly back real soon.
I saw that. So we were both right on Frank Pollard. I just looked it up. What number was Frank Pollard? He was 44 and he was 30.
Wow.
Yeah.
My man.
Yeah, man.
I didn't know that.
I go way back. I go way back with my boys.
I see.
You know, matter of fact, just to switch sports, a lot of people don't realize Willie Stargell, okay?
Number 8.
Yeah. A lot of people don't realize he didn't start off at first base. I remember Willie Stargell when he was playing left field for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Yeah, yeah. Okay. All right. So, like I said, we are coming up on the break, everyone. We are talking about our Pittsburgh Steelers taking the victory today over in Ireland. A 24-21 nail biter. That shouldn't have been a nail biter, but the Steelers hold on for the victory. And fellas, the Rooney family, man, they have to be elated. You know, with their lineage to Ireland, they worked for years to get that game over. For the people, hey, for the people that don't like Mike Tomlin, he, he probably got himself a contract extension.
Yes. Oh, yes. Lifetime at this point. Lifetime.
So yeah, they got it done. They got it done. So before we take our first break of the day, I'm going to throw a question out there. And we've been talking about the defense already. Okay. And I think they gave up too many yards, but I've said this before anyway. It's all about the points. You know, you could give up the yards, but if you hold them to less points than what your offense has, you're going to win all the time. And you're going to win all the time. So if both of you can think of, from a game ball standpoint, who would you give your game ball to on the defense side of the ball? Okay. Who will it be? I mean, I'm gonna throw some names out there. You had Benton that played a hell of a game. Yeah, hell of a game. I thought that, who else on defense? We talked about Peyton Wilson.
I think PQ had a good game.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
that too. You know, Patrick Queen has a lot of people that bash him as well, but I think he shows up and he plays hard and he's productive every game. Not saying that he doesn't make mistakes, but yeah, he falls into that particular category. Um, so yeah, those are just some of the names, right? And when we come back, hopefully, you two and myself could come up with someone on the defensive side of the ball that you would give your game ball to. And I'm going to throw it out there for everyone that's watching or listening as well. Who would you give your defensive game ball to as well? So we're going to go ahead and take a break. And when we come back, we'll have Mike Tomlin's press conference and we'll continue to talk Pittsburgh Steelers and who we're giving our Pittsburgh ESPN Black and Gold post-game show game ball to as well.
Looking for a cost-effective way to help increase your company's bottom line? Look no further than Soul Pit Media. With our award-winning print, internet, podcast, and Soul Pit television options, we can help your business get to that next level. For more information, contact Craig Dawson at 412-407-7685. That's 412-407-7685. And let Soul Pit Media take you to that next level.
Business owners thinking about back-to-school promotions and replacing summer flavors with pumpkin? What about your taxes? Reduce your stress and tax liabilities by planning for tax time now with Cameron Professional Services Group. CPSG takes your goals, values, and visions to create a custom tax plan catered specifically to your business. We work closely with you to ensure that as your business grows and goals shift, so will your custom plan. Located in the Hill District in Pittsburgh, PA, CPSG is a CPA and consultant firm providing services in accounting, auditing, tax planning and preparation, community development, and operational
business
management.
owners.
Call Cameron Professional Services Group today at 412-251-0607.
Have you had the Beat by Niche experience? Beat by Niche is one of the top makeup artists in the city of Pittsburgh. She's touched the face of Cardi B, love and hip-hop personalities, and various Steeler wives. If you have not sat in her chair, what are you waiting for? Visit beatbyniche.com to schedule your special makeover for all occasions, weddings, graduations, proms, photo ops, and more. Visit beatbyniche.com and experience the touch of excellence.
Pittsburgh, it's an old school party. Yes, each Saturday we throw it back with some of the best old school music, funk, R&B, old school, rap, hip hop, and all the jams that make you move and dance. Yes, check it out. Each Saturday, right here on Pittsburgh's DSEN. All the old school jams, 6 to 11 p.m.
Pittsburgh, have you seen our Sunday radio schedule? Ooh, it is lit. Start the day off with our Sunday gospel music from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. It will inspire you and have you praising the Lord. Then from 3 to 8 p.m., we bring you Sunday jazz melody for all the jazz lovers. Then cap off the night with the Quiet Storm from 8 to 11 p.m. to hear the best smooth, romantic, and soulful R&B sounds of yesterday and today. All that each Sunday on Pittsburgh's DSEN, the place for soul.
Yeah, you know what it is. Black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow. Yeah, you know what it is. Black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow. Yeah, you know what it is. Everything I do it big. Yeah, screaming that's not when I pulled off the lot, that's not. Reppin' my town when you see me, you know everything. Black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow.
All right, we are back. Yes, we are. My name is Kevin Cameron. Welcome back to the Black and Gold post-game show after a 24-21 victory by our Pittsburgh Steelers over in Ireland versus the Minnesota Vikings. And we're talking about it all. And I want to make sure I have my phone screen back up because we do want phone calls. Please give us a call when you have a chance. The phone number should be on your screen, whichever way you connect it. If you connect it on YouTube or if you connect it on our radio stream, we are here until 4 o'clock talking about it all, talking about the big game. Our Pittsburgh Steelers are 3-1 in first place in the AFC North. And fellas, you know what's nice about this win as well it was a breakfast win, right? It was a breakfast win. Okay, and the thing about a breakfast win, now we get to sit back, cross our legs, cross our arms, and watch the rest of the games, more specifically the AFC North, right? AFC North. There's a big game. Is that game tonight? Baltimore and Kansas City?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think it's a prime time. I think it's
8:20 game.
Is it an 8:20? I didn't think it was
trying to
prime
go
time.
from my memory.
I'll look it up here.
But either way, all the games are in front of us now. Okay. All the AFC games, and so we have to enjoy this victory.
4:25.
Is it 4:25? What time does Dallas come on? That Dallas Green Bay, is that the 8:20?
8:20.
Okay, so
yep.
that's the one I'm thinking of. So yes, all the good games, it seems like, are 4:25 and after.
Rams.
Yeah, so it seems like, people need to tune in and make sure they call in and talk about this game. And then after this is over, they could watch the real game. Yeah.
And I want to make sure we got back to our Who to Goat.
Okay.
Gave us his list of things that he thought Mike Tomlin made that he essentially did not agree with.
Okay.
What he called terrible decisions.
Okay.
So to start it out, Mike Tomlin almost blew it by going for it in the end zone and not going for it on 4th and 1 inch. So he's referring to our punt, and then also referring to
the 4th and 1 earlier in the game, maybe.
Well, he's talking about the 4th and goal, and then the one where we punted after that to give him the ball back with a minute left.
He didn't like that last punt?
No.
Okay.
And then going forward on 4th in the red zone and not taking the 3 points.
Okay, that's arguable.
Yep, and
that's arguable.
And this is, you and I actually talked about this one during the game, and if you're going forward on 4th down, why not go to someone like DK? I can agree with that. Why not throw the ball?
I could agree with that. I wanted to see a throw.
And then he said, Smokin Jim is right. Caleb was a bad pick, and he is trash.
Man. Well, give this young guy, give this young guy some time, everyone.
Yeah.
Seriously, I mean,
we need to uplift our players, man. We need to give them, be patient with some of these.
Well, I just think that he's young and he needs some time. And I always mention the great one, Troy Polamalu. Troy looked like trash at the beginning as well.
Yeah.
Okay. But he turned out to be a Hall of Famer.
Troy wasn't a running back. Name me one running back that didn't step immediately on and was outstanding.
Willie Parker.
Willie Parker was a walk-on.
That's that. You asked. Well,
you asked me. I'm talking about somebody drafted in the first 3 rounds.
Well, offhand, I'll have to. No, Lev Bell started right away. He got off to a pretty good start.
He took him a few games before he even stepped on the field and started.
Lev Bell, when I saw him, I say, that's a bad boy.
Well, yeah, I agree, but it took him a little bit his rookie year.
Yeah. But I'm not giving up on Caleb Johnson at all. There's some things.
Former general manager Tom Donahoe used to tell me, get them good or get them gone. Get them gone, brother.
And he left too, didn't he? Bill Cowher said, it's you or me, and I'm not going. So, yeah. And the same thing with Kevin Colbert, okay, the previous GM, and Omar Khan, the current GM. A lot of people talk about Kevin Colbert didn't draft well his last few years. That might be the case, but I take a look at the whole body of work. And all I know is Kevin Colbert has 2 Super Bowls and went to 3 under his time. So hopefully Omar Khan could do, just as good. So everyone, again, we are here live at Cloud 33 Cigar Lounge in Pittsburgh, PA, the Penn Hills Shopping Center. We are here until 4. Okay, so come on down. The games are on. I see that Philadelphia is up on Tampa Bay right now, 14-3. Golf is on as well. The Ryder Cup is going on. Last time I looked, I think the U.S. we were getting smoked. Is that the case?
It's 12-5.
Well, that's smoke.
Yep, that is smoked. We've been smoked since day one.
Yeah,
I mean, it's been.
But we're talking black and gold here. We're talking Pittsburgh Steelers victory, 24-21.
Yeah, shout out to my my mentor, my business mentor, and colleague.
Okay.
He lives in Scotland, and he's watching the game or watching the Ryder Cup, and told me ahead of time that Europe was going to smoke U.S. So shout out to him. He called it.
Wow. Well, hey, if they're a better squad, they're a better squad.
Yep.
All right. So what we'll do, everyone, I'm going to cue up Mike Tomlin's press conference that was done, I guess probably about 25 minutes ago. Let me see if I could get that on. Okay, so it'll take me a few minutes to get this on here. So before we listen to Mike Tomlin and watch his press conference, Ken, I'll throw it over to you from a game ball standpoint, defensive game ball.
Yeah, defensive game ball. This one's a difficult because I think we got work in from just about the entire team. Like you had mentioned Keanu Benton, Nick Herbig, TJ,
Mm-hmm.
across the board. But I think
TJ had a big
yeah,
interception.
yes, he did. He had a very big interception. I think Juan Thornhill came up with his pass block. Chuck Clark, I'd get him off the field. But overall, I think I think I would have to give it to TJ for his interception or PQ. I think Patrick Queen had a really good game. Deshaun Elliott, I missed him, man. I missed him a lot, and I'm glad he is back. And you could see the difference when he is on the field. But my game ball is going to go to Patrick Queen right now. Just 11 tackles, 8 solo tackles, 1 sack, 3 tackles for loss. I think just overall, he commanded the defense very well today. It just looked good.
Excellent. So again, who?
Patrick Queen.
You're going with Patrick Queen?
Yes, I am. On the defensive side, yes.
Okay, let me jot that down. And Smokin Jim?
I think you got to give the guys flowers. Keanu Benton, 3 sacks because, listen, this is something I never thought I'd see. I'll never see it again. Don't forget that for years, Edmund Nelson held the Pittsburgh Steelers record with 4.5 or 5 sacks. It stood for about 30 years. He didn't get that many sacks before or after. Keanu Benton, if he plays 10 more years, will never have another 3 sacks in his career, let alone in one game. Start next week, he'll be on the ground, and he'll be the international house of pancakes like he's always been.
So
Wow.
ESPN has only credited him with 1.5 right now.
Yeah,
so they may
I'm
go
looking.
back and update
I'm
that.
looking.
That's all I would have gave him. The announcers gave him 3.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Nick,
he had 4.
Old dumb truck tried to get 2 more.
the Steelers had 6 sacks today. Patrick Queen 1, Deshaun Elliott 1, TJ Watt 1, Nick Herbig 1.5, Keanu Benton 1.5. So, and that's an area that the Steelers started slow in
This year.
pressure and sacking the quarterback.
You mean this year or
This
today?
year.
Yeah, I agree.
This year. The first 2 games, I think it was 2 sacks the first game and 1 sack. The second game in the last 2 weeks, last week they had 5. This week they had 6. So they're really coming up. So that's an area that, I'm loving what they're doing. So I'll hold off on my game ball, okay, because we're about to hear head coach Mike Tomlin talk about, or we'll get his remarks, his post-game remarks. This is what he had to say.
The reception. Y'all ever heard of an HEA?
Let me take this off here and try to get this going. I want to make sure
Again, we're
it's
live.
the right spot.
We're live. We are not in the studio, so we appreciate your patience as we are live here at Cloud 33 in Penn Hills, Pennsylvania. If you want to come out, watch the games, there is TVs all over the place here. You can have a cigar, just sit around, come on live with us, and just chill out with the the guests here. A great atmosphere here.
Very nice.
Very nice atmosphere.
So it should be coming up here in a minute.
Make sure it's there. We go.
Before I even get to the game, I just can't express enough the reception that we got here. The hospitality, the accommodations, the service, it was all top notch, man. It's an honor to represent American football here in Dublin. It was just a great trip. Obviously, a component of it being a great trip is doing the job, and thankfully we were able to do that. We made it a little bit more entertaining than maybe it should have been, but the Vikings had a lot to do with that. That group's got a lot of fight, man. They're well coached. it's just a fun atmosphere, man. Good to get a win. Good to go into the bye in the position that we're in. We're leaking in some areas, and so, man, it's probably at an appropriate time. But to be honest with you, I've never had a bye that didn't seem like it didn't come at the appropriate time. Calvin Austin's got a shoulder. I think he's at the hospital being evaluated. Jalen Ramsey was in and out of the game with a hamstring. Brandon Echols had cramps. Slay got cleated. You know, we were leaking a little bit in the secondary coming into the game without Joey Porter. But such is life. Again, I'm just thankful to get the victory. I appreciate the fight of the guys. Certainly you want to finish that game off cleaner, man, so we got some get better ahead of us, but it's good to do that with a W. You know, we talked a lot about the late, great Ambassador Rooney last night. I know he's smiling at us today, man. It's just an honor, man, to fulfill his vision, to bring NFL football to Dublin, man, and been thinking about him a lot on a personal level, and so I'd be remiss if I didn't say that. I'll pause and open it up for questions.
You know for sure that Jalen wouldn't play, and game was
Jalen was a pregame decision. That's why we listed him as questionable. He worked out prior to the game, and, you know, we just didn't feel good enough, man. Didn't want to put him in a uniform, and then he wouldn't be able to finish, and then you're working a guy short. And so, you know, we worked him out, and that's where we settled. Jalen's a tough guy. He wanted to do it, but I just thought it was prudent not to. But I also got a great deal of confidence in Kenny Gainwell, man, and he showed you why. Top-notch competitor and professional. He's been a great asset to us, man, in the running game, out of the backfield. He's just a football player first, and I appreciate his efforts today.
Coach, speaking about Kenny Gainwell, is that a guy that you think get, an increased role that's going forward in the stage?
I tell you, man, Kenny's always ready for whatever we ask him to do. And so, no, I would not be surprised by that. He's just a top-notch competitor, and I'm glad he's with us.
defense is highly productive. What do you think led to it? What were some of the things?
You know, I thought that we put together a good plan, and I thought they did a nice job of executing it. The Vikings got some challenging schematics. They worked to minimize your four-man rush with max protections. I think the adjustments we made relative to the max protections was a major component why we were able to put pressure on them. And so kudos to TA and company, but also kudos to the men. We had a bunch of guys that played hard and made a bunch of plays today, and we needed them.
Some of that leaking you referred to in the injuries in the secondary, did that lead to that 81-yard catch?
Unfortunately, yes. We were leaking bad at that juncture, man. I think we had big nickel in and I think 3 safeties, and that's not ideal under the circumstance. You're really limited in terms of your schematics. You can't play man-to-man, and so it was what it was. But we were able to get out of the stadium.
How important is for this team to start fast today to the points before the first half?
You know, I'm certainly interested in starting fast, but the start doesn't determine the game. It's a 60-minute football game, as you guys just saw. And so you got to start fast. You got to be competitive in the middle. You better be competitive at the end. We're in the ultimate parity league, and I think that's why we have such a good relationship with our fans, man, and we enjoy putting our talents and skills on display for them.
As you mentioned, the connection between the Rooney family and this country here, and the Irish people certainly embraced the Steelers as the whole team this week. How did you strike a balance between allowing that to filter into the locker room and not allowing it to become a distraction?
You know, our guys are professional, and so I think two things can be true. You can appreciate this unique opportunity that we had to come represent American football here, while at the same time you can do what it is you need to do to pursue victory and handle this week's job. And so, like, that's the approach we took it. We weren't going to fight against it. We want to appreciate it, yet at the same time we understood what we came here to do.
That's the way the defense have shown. How do you keep the momentum going with the bye week next week?
You know, for us, it's just about getting healthy, to be quite honest with you, and we hadn't been that. You got no control over that. It's just about how you respond to it. Depth is required. We got a lot of competitive guys. Can't say enough about Brandon Echols, man. That guy's played a lot of football for us, man. but our depth has been tested. It'll be good to get a week off, man, and get more healthy and get ready for what lies ahead.
Coach, you were saying on Friday that your third down defense, how happy were you with that?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
You were talking about on Friday the proven third down defense, how happy were you with that?
I was. But again, as I mentioned, we felt comfortable with our plan. We knew that they would max protect and neutralize our rush, and I just think we had a solid counter plan, and the guys understood it and executed it at a high level. But that's the name of the game: possession down football, winning it, making big plays, playing complementary football. I thought for the better part of the day, we did most of those things.
Appreciate you just kind of out there. You said 5 weeks is a good sign for you. Are you able to evaluate kind of how this first 4 weeks has gone?
You know, forget my perception of it. We're 3-1, and that's all that matters. You know, would I like to be 4-0? Certainly, but we are what we are. I've learned not to, kid myself. You are what your record says you are, and so that's where we are going into the bye, and I can take it.
How impressed were you about the pressure you got at Carson?
I'm sorry?
How impressed were you by the amount of pressure you got on the quick lead today?
Man, it was required. We got a lot of respect for Carson Wentz, man. He's a veteran guy. They got a vertical passing attack. They go down the grass to their outstanding tandem of receivers, and so we knew it would be an opportunity to maybe provide some pressure because of their mode of operation, the fact that they're a vertical group. But obviously, as you can see, they're capable of making some plays as well, and so it's competitive.
DK Metcalf got the same amount of targets in all last game as he did in the first half today. Was getting the ball early kind of quick hitters a big point out?
I think getting him the ball is always our agenda. Sometimes it's controlled by other things. In previous weeks, we weren't getting off the way we would like on third down, so it minimizes offensive possessions. We weren't winning possession downs, and so, these are complex discussions. They don't happen in a vacuum. We didn't go get DK not to get him the ball, and so today was a reflection of our intentions. But that's been our intentions every week.
Coach, what did you make of the Dublin experience, and do you think that other sides will relish coming here in the atmosphere and everything the fans have given you?
I tell you what, man, as I mentioned, our reception was first class in every way. I'm sure others will experience the same things we experienced. I can't say enough about the hospitality that Dublin provided us.
Two more.
Coach, we've seen Caleb Johnson playing more this week. How you will work with this bye week in the next weeks to him to get involved?
I promised him a sweet bye week if we got the business done, and so I probably have to fulfill that promise. It won't probably be a lot of work in the week that lies ahead, but we'll get us a good bonus Monday, man, and a good week's work coming out of it. But they're deserving of that, and as I mentioned, it's probably appropriate because we got a lot of people down.
Last one.
There was a fourth down that Aaron Rodgers pushed for going for it. Are you happy with the implication of Aaron Rodgers? It was a very courageous thing to do, and
I love his competitive spirit. I love to support it. I like a guy that plays to win, and so he's an asset to us in that way, certainly. Regardless of the outcome of the play, certainly it didn't unfold the way we would like, but we're prepared to die with our boots on and pursue victory and not live in our fears. Thanks, guys.
Okay, so there you go. Head coach Mike Tomlin. Those were his post-game remarks. What did you two think? And I'll start with you.
I did have a question. Did you hear who his last comment was about?
About the sweep? I didn't hear.
No, you did not. Okay. No, he had mentioned about
what happens when the prostate enlarges and
or what the question was, but overall, I think one of the first things that popped out is the amount of injuries that we had. They were playing big nickel with 3 safeties on the field due to the injuries. And against a vertical team like Minnesota, that is not ideal.
Mm-hmm.
Playing complementary football most of the time. My question is, were they today? And I think that's something we could talk about. You are what you are, right? We are. I think, we can look at our team and say, well, we were close in all these games. Are we really a top team, or are we really a 3-1, or should we be 4-0, or should we be 0-4? No, we're 3-1. That, we are who we are, and we're also struggling in a lot of areas as well. And I think it's important to recognize that. But going into the bye may give us this opportunity to get healthy, get players like JPJ back. I think that he's missed a lot on the field. Ramsey, is he fully healthy? I don't think so. Calvin Austin now may be out a little bit. So yeah, we got a lot of guys down, especially on our secondary, and looking forward to getting everybody back as quickly as possible.
All right. Smokin Jim?
I tell you what, over the years that I've known you, Kevin, Mike Tomlin saying a lot of things that you have said
Okay.
over and over again, and I agree with them. And don't forget, Coach Tomlin came into the game as the winningest one-score coach in NFL history. He increased that lead. And again, anytime it's hard to win in the National Football League.
Yes.
It's even harder to win on the road. And now the Pittsburgh Steelers have a bye week, and they can maybe get healthy. It's a little early for a bye week, but maybe it did come as a good time. And again, talked about Mr. Rooney.
Yep.
And I believe that President Obama appointed Mr. Rooney as the ambassador.
Yep,
He did.
that is correct.
He
So,
did.
yeah.
I remind people that all the time.
Yeah, it's
all the
it's a
time.
very big deal.
Yeah,
It is
so
a
you, so
very
you
big deal.
you two capture pretty much everything from Mike Tomlin post game, comment standpoint. But I'll just add, he realizes that you have to get the middle right as well, okay? Because the Steelers jumped out to what was score? Was it 14-3? I think at one particular time, and had an opportunity to get more, but the field goal was blocked. Okay, so things like that can happen. I think it was Frymuth who missed the block
Yeah.
on that particular play. So there's still a whole lot of areas for the Steelers to get better in.
Fryermuth missed a lot of blocks.
He can't miss those critical ones, because just think about it as well. That those 3 points taken off the board would have been a 6-point lead that we talked about at the end of the game.
Well, and
versus just 3 points going down.
And that fourth down that we had, I mean, obviously, who knows how the game unfolds if we would have went, or if we would have made that field goal. However, that fourth down, the 4th and goal that we went for, we maybe would have been able to just kick a field goal there and not worried about that 4th down and goal, because we were already up by 3, already had that field goal in the
Well,
pocket.
Ken, don't you think that was more Aaron Rodgers than Coach Tomlin
Sure.
wanting to go
Yeah.
for it? Coach Tomlin
It
gave
was.
into
It
his
was.
veteran quarterback.
You could see that look on his face too, of like, I should have just went with my gut and stuck with my gut instead of getting talked out of it. So
Yeah.
they kept panning back to him during the game, and I was like, I can read that look.
But later on, when the Steelers needed an inch, Coach Tomlin lived in his fears and didn't go with it. I got to agree with Eugene that the Steelers they could have fell forward and the game would have been over. So he lived in his fears.
He sure did. I mean, and did they run the kind of Suedo tush push with Darnell Washington?
Yeah, I couldn't tell who had the ball, if it was Darnell or Gainwell.
Yeah, okay.
I couldn't tell. But let's do this, fellas. We're beyond the break a couple minutes, so we need to go ahead and take our second break of the day. And when we come back, I'll let everyone know who I'm giving my defensive game ball to. Okay, I'll let everybody know. And then what we'll try to do, we'll try to queue up some of the player interviews as well. And we haven't received our first call of the day. Okay. People, please give us a call. We want to hear your comments now. You might be on YouTube. You might be on the radio stream. Either way, we would like to hear your post-game comments as well. But either way, we'll continue to talk about it, and we'll continue to bring the interviews directly from the locker room. So what we'll do, we'll go ahead and take our break, and we'll be right back with everyone to continue to talk about the Steelers 24-21 victory over the Minnesota Vikings.
Looking for a cost-effective way to help increase your company's bottom line? Look no further than Soul Pit Media. With our award-winning print, internet, podcast, and Soul Pit television options, we can help your business get to that next level. For more information, contact Craig Dawson at 412-407-7685. That's 412-407-7685. And let Soul Pit Media take you to that next level.
Business owners thinking about back-to-school promotions and replacing summer flavors with pumpkin? What about your taxes? Reduce your stress and tax liabilities by planning for tax time now with Cameron Professional Services Group. CPSG takes your goals, values, and visions to create a custom tax plan catered specifically to your business. We work closely with you to ensure that as your business grows and goals shift, so will your custom plan. Located in the Hill District in Pittsburgh, PA, CPSG is a CPA and consultant firm, providing services in accounting, auditing, tax planning and preparation, community development, and operational management. Call Cameron Professional Services Group today at 412-251-0607.
Have you had the Beat by Niche experience? Beat by Niche is one of the top makeup artists in the city of Pittsburgh. She's touched the face of Cardi B, Love and Hip Hop personalities, and various Steeler wives. If you have not sat in her chair, what are you waiting for? Visit beatbyniche.com to schedule your special makeover for all occasions: weddings, graduations, proms, photo ops, and more. Visit beatbyniche.com and experience the touch of excellence.
Pittsburgh, it's an old school party. Yes, each Saturday we throw it back with some of the best old school music, funk, R&B, old school, rap, hip hop, and all the jams that make you move and dance. Yes, check it out. Each Saturday, right here on Pittsburgh's DSEN. All the old school jams, 6 to 11 p.m.
Pittsburgh, have you seen our Sunday radio schedule? Ooh, it is lit. Start the day off with our Sunday gospel music from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. It will inspire you and have you praising the Lord. Then from 3 to 8 p.m., we bring you Sunday jazz melody for all the jazz lovers. Then cap off the night with The Quiet Storm from 8 to 11 p.m. to hear the best smooth, romantic, and soulful R&B sounds of yesterday and today. All that each Sunday on Pittsburgh's DSEN, the place for soul.
Point, baby, do what I should, man. Point, baby, do what I could, man. Point, baby, do what I should, man. Point, baby, do what I could, man. Point, baby, do what I should, man. Point, baby, do what I could, man. Point, baby, do what I should, man. Point, baby.
Yeah, we are back in the house. This is the Smokin post-game show. Pittsburgh DSEN. Black and Gold post-game show. My name is Cameron. Right. Smokin Jim Frazier. To my left, that's Kim Craig. And we are having a ball here at Cloud 33.
I don't know who this is.
Yeah.
To talk about the system update install that's going on right in the middle of the ride.
Is that right? Okay. Wow. I just noticed that. But hey, we're talking Steelers stuff, right? We are talking Steelers. And like I said, we are 2-0 when it comes to the post-game show. And I would like to see that continue. Well, we know that it will continue again next week, right? because the Steelers have a bye next week. Okay, so we can all chill, and we're going into the break 2-0 as a post game show, and the Steelers are 3-1. They, regardless of what happens this weekend, fellas, they'll be in first place in the AFC North. And who does Cincinnati have this week?
Oh, they have Denver Monday night.
They have Denver Monday night. Okay, so and the Browns play who?
They're playing Detroit right now.
Whoa,
Yeah.
what's the score of that game? You
Yeah,
have the score of that
I was
game?
going to run through all the scores, but I'll give them first.
Okay.
The Lions. It is currently in the second quarter with 4 minutes left. Lions are ahead 10-7.
10-7.
Yep.
So the Browns are hanging so far.
Yeah. Do you mind if I run down the other scores
Go
really
ahead.
fast?
Go ahead.
All right. The New York Giants are leading the LA Chargers 10-3 in the second quarter with 6:21 left. The Texans are currently leading the Titans 6-0 with 2 minutes left in the second quarter. The Atlanta Falcons are leading the Washington Commanders 17-10 with 3 minutes left in the second quarter.
Interesting. And who's the quarterback there?
Motorola. What's his name?
So Daniels is out, right?
Yes,
Daniels.
Mariota.
Mariota.
Okay,
Yes.
Jaden Daniels is out.
Yes, he's
okay.
still out. Where was it? Okay, the Buffalo Bills ahead of the Saints 14-7 with 7 minutes left in the second quarter. And the Eagles ahead 21-3 with 3:32 left in the second quarter. Panthers and Patriots. Patriots are currently ahead 14-6 with 7 minutes left in the second quarter. And yeah, that's it. Patriots just entered the red zone. So
okay,
a lot of good games out there. I'm kind of surprised by the Giants and the Chargers, but Smokin Jim down there, you said it. Your boy.
Number one rated quarterback.
Number one rated is who?
Jackson Dart.
And so he's getting it done. What's the score of that game again? Giants
10-3 Giants
over
LA Chargers.
Over the LA Chargers. So that would be a good win for us from an AFC standpoint as well. So yeah, and it's the second quarter, Ken.
Yep. Yeah, they're all in the second quarter. There's 6 minutes left in the second quarter of that game. Giants have the ball right now.
Okay, cool. All right, so before we broke, I actually said that I would give my defense a game ball, and I do have the person that I'm going with here as well. But before I do, the phone number for people to call is on your screen, 412-213-8995, or you can text us at 412-218-3888. Okay? We would love to hear from you. And also we have the chat going on YouTube as well. After the show, I want to make everybody aware that we will have the best of jazz also. So Sunday Jazz Medley will play directly after the show. So that's roughly between 4 and 8 o'clock. And then from 8 to 11, we have a Quiet Storm. So please check out both of those programs if you have an opportunity to do so. We're a 24/7 radio station. We always have something good for you. So we like to say, if you like soul, there's something for you. Okay, find what's right for your soul. Excellent. All right, so the game ball from a defensive standpoint so far, Ken to my left picked Patrick Queen. Smokin Jim to my right picked the new Benton. And yours truly, I'm going with Mr. Patrick Wilson. Okay.
Peyton,
excuse me. Peyton Wilson. All right. And we've been talking about Peyton Wilson a number of times today. And again, I'll give those totals. He led the Pittsburgh Steelers in tackles today, 13 total tackles, 8 of those solo, and 2 tackles for loss. In addition to that, something that doesn't show up on the stat sheet, that Jordan Addison reception for 81 yards late in the fourth quarter. What was the speed again,
Little
Ken?
over 22 miles per hour.
Yeah. That's something that head coach Mike Tomlin is going to put up in at film time and say, guys, this is how you don't quit on a play. And I love that. He didn't quit. He stopped a touchdown, even though they eventually scored, but that allowed them to burn up time. Just think about it this way. I don't know offhand how much time was burnt after that play. Maybe when I have a chance, I'll go and look, but just say 30 seconds were burnt. It was over a minute.
Oh, yeah, they said it was over a minute.
Okay,
Yeah.
so just say a minute, 10 seconds. Could you imagine that last drive for Minnesota having a minute, 10 seconds left? That's not going to show up on the stat sheet. Okay. So, that's a big factor why I'm going with Peyton Wilson as the guy on the defense that gets my game ball. Okay. Now, Gene, are you ready? All right. So we're going to have the owner of Cloud 33 Cigar Lounge, and we're going to have to pull in a little tighter so we could get Gene in our shot here. That's good right there. That's good right there. Yeah, yeah. It's good to have that wide angle camera as well. And I want to make sure your mic is on.
He's making me look small, guys.
And let me make sure I have
On?
this. Let me make sure I have this music off as well. Sometimes it plays in the background without me knowing, but I think we're good now. Okay. So, Mr. Eugene Wilson, if you all joined us for our first Black and Gold post game show, you'll remember that we had Gene on as well to talk about his great establishment here in the Penn Hills Shopping Center. And just give a summary of what Cloud 33 is all about, Gene.
Yeah. Can you hear me okay? Am I good?
You're good to go.
Okay, good,
Yeah.
good. First and
Yeah.
foremost, thank you for coming up.
Okay.
Pittsburgh DSEN.
There you go.
The crew is in the building, so we appreciate you all coming up to Cloud 33. We're all about being premium, man, and just having a good time. Laid back environment here. Cigar Lounge. We utilize the space for different rentals, different programming, so on and so forth. Birthdays. We have jazz events. We have poetry nights, so on and so forth. So we just try to maximize the space here for the community so that people can come, let their hair down, so on and so forth. And we're just really, really excited to be in this partnership with you all for the post game Black and Gold show. So thank you so much for selecting us here. It's always fun. I mean, you have some legends here at the table.
For sure.
Yeah, you have some legends here at the table.
Yeah.
Smoking. We got Smoking at the table. And then if you all don't know, Ken can really play some golf.
I thought you were going to say basketball.
I was about to, but
bro, don't put that out there, man.
I didn't want to get the wrong sport. But and Kev, obviously being the athlete that he is, we definitely appreciate what you all do, man.
Appreciate you as well. Thank you for opening your doors and allowing us to do this post-game show. And as I mentioned, it is our second one. And this one, Gene, it was a breakfast game, right?
Yeah.
A breakfast game. You brought in some donuts and some coffee.
Yeah.
And we rocked the breakfast a little bit. It's early. So people still have an opportunity to come on in and enjoy the post game and have a stogie. Where's your stogie? I saw that you had one earlier.
Yeah, that was like my third one of the game.
That was like your third one.
It's supposed to be relaxing. I was stressing.
What kind of stogie? Yeah.
I was stressing.
What kind of stogie did you have after the game?
Well, actually, it goes exactly with the event. So what I had was Steel City Cigar. By Tony Rawlings, who is a local guy who owns Steel City Cigars. He graduated from Penn Hills. He has, but he lives in Dallas. He has his own farms and manufacturing and things of that nature. Wow. So we do have Steel City Cigars. We were the first one in Pennsylvania to carry Steel City Cigars. And we have some things in the works with him This is on the verge of becoming a Steel City Cigar Lounge.
Okay.
So that's where you have, your main representation for cigars or whatnot. He does a great job with his blends, and really, meets the satisfaction of all the guests that we have. I don't use the term customers. I like to use the term guests because we want people to feel comfortable. But that was my victory cigar, Kev.
There you go.
That was my victory cigar. I just wanted to give that little
That's
plug.
what I was looking for.
I wanted to give a little plug to Steel City Cigar.
I was coming back to it. I was coming back to it.
And anyone that has not had the opportunity to be a guest here at Cloud 33, the one thing I love about this
and look
place,
at the board. You got a question at the bottom, but go ahead, Ken.
Oh, okay. But the one thing I love, and I'll get to that question here in just a second, is anybody can come in and be a guest here, have a cigar, watch a game. But what I like is you can, I saw some people like joining the crowd and sitting around and talking, but I also saw like, a couple guys, out in the back just sitting by themselves. You can come do a little bit of work. You can come do, just spend some time to think. You don't have to be part of the big groups. You can sit by yourself and just chill out too. So I love that.
Yeah, no, thanks for noticing that. Very observant. That's one of the things that was part of the vision, where you could have little pockets of groups, and they're not suffocating each other, because normally in cigar lounges sometimes it's kind of tight. But they're not sitting up on top of each other, but at the same time they have their own bit of privacy or whatnot.
Yeah.
So we have people that do come up here and they'll get on their laptops or whatnot. Or you can be a part of the main conversation or whatnot. So yeah, you're correct. I see that there's a question on the board.
Yeah, we got a text in from, or I'm not sure who that's from, but how long has Cloud 33 been open? Tell us about it.
We opened April 22nd of 2023. So we just hit our 2-year mark, going into our 3rd year.
Ooh, congratulations.
Thank you. So
Definitely.
we're definitely pleased to be a part of the Penn Hills community. This Penn Hills shopping center located up here right off of Rhode Eye Road, which is 2 to 3 minutes off of the Parkway. One of the things that we have going for us outside of our 2,200 square feet is free parking. That's another challenging thing at different, cigar lounges or whatnot, is the parking, if it's downtown, so on and so forth. But yeah, free parking and space, and let your hair down and just be yourself.
And we got another text in here. What are the hours of operation here?
Great question. I'm glad whoever sent that in. Thank you for asking that. The hours of operation, we are closed on Tuesdays. So Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, 6 to midnight. Friday, 6 p.m. to 1 a.m. Saturday, the same, 6 p.m. to 1 a.m. Sundays, we are only open for the Steeler games. Depending on the crowd, if I need to stay open a little longer, we will do that to service the guests here. In the off season, we do close down on Sundays.
And then there's been times, I mean, you guys have DJs here, you have karaoke.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys, it gets wild in here too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
All right. So what I'll do, I had to turn on this polo to my right as well. So you're talking to the fellas also, Gene.
Okay.
And I wanted to get you on the Black and Gold post game show here at Cloud 33, as we've been talking about here in the Penn Hills Shopping Center. You still have time to come down and provide your questions or comments regarding the Steelers' 24-21 victory. Now, there was one particular play or decision that Mike Tomlin had there, Gene, that you really didn't like.
That's correct.
So I wanted you to share it with the people here on Polo, as well as YouTube, as well as on our radio stream, your thoughts on that particular decision. And again, it was about 4 minutes and 14 seconds left in the game. The Steelers were up 24-14 at that time on the Vikings 3-yard line.
Correct.
So it was 4th and goal from the 3.
Yes.
Okay.
So for me, I understand.
And make sure you're in this shot as well.
Okay. My head might be in the way.
Just slide back just a little bit. There you go.
For me, I understand that Gainwell had a really, really good game and everything like that. And Tomlin has a history of wanting to run the horses till they can't go anymore, so to speak, or whatnot. I get all that. But it's not like for the season for the recent history that we've had truly consistent run play or whatnot. You have a Hall of Famer under center. Okay,
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers. You have DK Metcalf. You have the big boy, 80.
Washington, Darnell Washington.
Darnell Washington.
Yep.
So we have guys that are capable of making catches in small spaces,
Definitely.
right? The run game was going so well. I thought, get Rodgers out there in that open, nice little play action, or if you're gonna go for it, we needed to throw, put it in Rodgers' hands.
Yeah.
If you're not gonna go for it,
but you wanted the field goal.
I wanted the field goal.
You wanted the field goal. Is the bottom line.
The reason I wanted the field goal is because I'm playing the long game.
You're playing the long, and normally that's what Mike Tomlin does. But Aaron Rodgers and the rest of the offense said, "No, we got this. We got this. Let's go. Let's go."
Don't forget there was a timeout. There was a timeout there.
Yeah, because Mike Tomlin,
because they was going back and forth,
was thinking about it.
He was thinking about it.
Yeah, normally he would kick the field goal.
Okay, but let me ask you this question. I want you to think about this.
Yep.
Do you think Aaron Rodgers, since he wanted to go for it, if Mike wanted to go for the field goal, let's say Aaron Rodgers talks him out of it,
right? Which he did.
Which he did. Okay. Well, we don't know for a fact. We don't know that for a fact. But let's just say he talked him out of it. Do you think part of Aaron Rodgers' thought process is going to be, let's hand it off to Gainwell? Come on, Kev.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he changed that play at the line of scrimmage or not. But the Steelers were running the ball well. But here's the deal. You didn't want to go for it, period. You wanted to kick the field goal. I wanted to go for it, but I just didn't like the play.
Field goal was my A.
I wanted them to pass the ball, put the ball in Rodgers' hands to make a good decision. Once you hand it off,
now, Kev,
it's
Kev,
Aaron Rodgers can't do anything.
You are a student of being very particular.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
Field goal was my A.
Right.
My B was to pass the ball. Let's make sure we get that correct. So I wasn't against going for it.
Yep.
It was if you made that call, put it in the right people's hands.
Right.
So that, what are the chances of us scoring versus what's the percentage of us scoring versus Gainwell running it up?
And let me do this. I'm going to go ahead and cut this polo off. And for those individuals on polo, you could catch us, the Black and Gold postgame show. This is what we're talking about. Different things that happen during the game. What are your thoughts on the decisions that Mike Tomlin made? There were others during the game as well. The Steelers win 24-21 over Minnesota. Catch us on YouTube, Pittsburgh's DSEN.
So I want to jump in really quick there.
Yep.
Whose side you taking?
And I actually have a point to make about yours, right? So when you look at like the probability,
hey, Ken, it doesn't matter that we're in this place. You can say what you want to say.
I know that.
I have that cigar waiting for you, Ken.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but when you look at like the probability of that situation, we went with like the lowest chance possible. Right. And I think that, I know Coach Tomlin has like the smallest coaching staff. I know there's only one or two people that run the football analytics and data science group. But when you look at like fourth down and goal on like the 2 or 3 yard, or no, it was like the 6 yard line, actually. You take, that kind of risk and you look at the analytical side of it.
Yes.
You just put yourself in the worst case scenario, the worst chances to score by running with Kenny Gainwell, right?
Agreed.
And that's what I'm saying. It's like you got to start looking at those things. Like, what is the best opportunity when you have a Darnell Washington, when you have a DK Metcalf, when you have a Pat Freiermuth who has disappeared for a couple games. So I agree with you completely. I think I think if we're not going to kick a field goal, you definitely got to put it in the air.
Yeah. Got to take advantage of, the talent that you have. Gainwell, even with Gainwell, I mean, he showed promising in the past game. I just feel like show some creativity, switch it up a little bit, hit them with something that they haven't seen all game, something to that sort. But I think there's another question up.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, we'll take this question and then we'll be right for our next break as well.
And can you? We had a text in. Are women welcome? And do you have a ladies' night?
Yes, and sort of. So, yes, women are more than welcome. This is not a gentleman's lounge. Women love cigars. They love, being part of the poetry nights. And we actually do an event. It's called Puff and Paint, and it's normally focused to women. So it's kind of like when you do this sipping paint or whatnot. So it's Puff and Paint. You'll get wine on the house, cigars, and there's like a painting class or whatnot. Now, that's not the only thing that we do, but to answer the question, yes, women are definitely more than welcomed. I have half of my members here are women, actually. So, with that being said, yes, and moving forward, we are doing more things focused towards women to get that message out there so that they understand that they are more than welcomed at Cloud 33 Premium Cigar Lounge.
Cool. So that answers the question. And actually, Gene, we had a number of women here first post-game show.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was good to see. And there's still more time for today. Maybe we'll get, if we do get any in today, maybe we'll have them come up with their question or comments as well. So again, we are here until 4 o'clock. It's 2:29 p.m. here in Pittsburgh now. So we still have an hour and a half to go. So we're coming up on our next break. We're going to go ahead and take a break while we're on break. Ken and Smokin Jim, we did the defensive game balls. Let's do our offensive game balls when we come back. And let's also get some of those player interviews in the queue, okay, directly from the Steelers locker room, coming from our Pittsburgh Steelers as well. So we need to go ahead and queue that up. Any updates on the scores, Ken, while I queue up this next break?
Yep, happy to give an update here. We do have the Eagles and Buccaneers game on here at Cloud 33, and it looks like the Eagles are absolutely taking it to the Buccaneers. It's 24-3, 4 seconds before halftime. In terms of the other games,
well, hold tight on that. We'll give a break because I have it ready, and when we come back, we'll give everyone an update.
All right.
Cool.
Looking for a cost-effective way to help increase your company's bottom line? Look no further than Soul Pit Media. With our award-winning print, internet, podcast, and Soul Pit television options, we can help your business get to that next level. For more information, contact Craig Dawson at 412-407-7685. That's 412-407-7685. And let Soul Pit Media take you to that next level.
Business owners thinking about back-to-school promotions and replacing summer flavors with pumpkin? What about your taxes? Reduce your stress and tax liabilities by planning for tax time now with Cameron Professional Services Group. CPSG takes your goals, values, and visions to create a custom tax plan catered specifically to your business. We work closely with you to ensure that as your business grows and goals shift, so will your custom plan. Located in the Hill District in Pittsburgh, PA, CPSG is a CPA and consultant firm, providing services in accounting, auditing, tax planning and preparation, community development, and operational management. Call Cameron Professional Services Group today at 412-251-0607.
Have you had the Beat by Niche experience? Beat by Niche is one of the top makeup artists in the city of Pittsburgh. She's touched the face of Cardi B, Love and Hip Hop personalities, and various Steeler wives. If you have not sat in her chair What are you waiting for? Visit beatbyniche.com to schedule your special makeover for all occasions, weddings, graduations, proms, photo ops, and more. Visit beatbyniche.com and experience the touch of excellence.
Just talk about that. It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you without a strong rhyme to step to. Think of how many weeks shows you slept through. Time's up. I'm sorry I kept you thinking of this. You keep repeating your miss. The rhyme from the microphone solo with. So you sit by the radio, hand on the dial soon. As you hear it, pump up the volume. Dance with the speaker till you hear it blow. Then plug in a headphone. Let's hear it go. It's a four-letter word when it's heard to control your body to dance. So dot text a tempo like a red alert. Reach your reflex and let it work. When this is playing, you can't get stuck with the steps. So we say, and I'ma still come up with a gift to be swift. Follow the leader. The rhyme will go deaf with the record that was mixed a long time ago. It could be done, but only I could do it. For those that could dance and clap your hands to it.
And now we are ready to give offensive game balls. And also, if there's anybody else here at Cloud 33 that would like to provide their comments or have a question, please come on up. We'll make sure you get the mic, just like Gene had the mic there to provide your question or comments regarding the game as well. Now, fellas, before the break, I talked about offensive game balls. Who wants to go first?
Smokin Jim, go for it.
Oh, okay.
I went first last time.
Well, I think we ought to take a game ball away from Caleb Johnson.
Oh, you're still
a game ball with helmet,
You're
shoulder
still on
pads,
Caleb.
and
You're still on
blocker.
Caleb.
But you got to give it to Gainwell, man. Give him congratulations. This is a guy that played at he won a Super Bowl ring last year with the Philadelphia Eagles. He's done everything that a veteran should do when he came to this team. Worked hard and assumed his role as a backup. And when it was time to step up, he gained 99 yards today and ran very effectively. And I tell you what, you got to give a co-game ball maybe to the offensive line. Have fun.
Only
fun.
Only one Smokin Jim.
Got to be Gainwell.
Oh,
Got to
okay.
be Gainwell.
Okay.
Yeah, I was actually going to go with Gainwell. When he came over and I had a chance to meet him at one of the practices.
How many inches you have on him?
Quite a little bit, actually. However, he mentioned that he learned a lot playing in Philadelphia, even though he may not have gotten a lot of like true playing time and was really used as like a third down back. Was used a lot in the pass game. But he learned a lot playing behind really good running backs like Saquon, people like that. So, I think that he's capitalizing on his opportunity to be here. With Jalen Warren out, it's awesome to see someone like him step in and get, like you said, 99 yards on the ground, as well as 35 or 6 receptions for 35 yards, and getting 2 touchdowns. So, my game ball would go to Kenny G. If I had a second one, I'd be handing one to Mr. DK Metcalf for 5 receptions, 126
That's
yards.
a real good.
Yep. Yeah, I think but DK had a game. I think we have to use him in the middle of the field more. I want to see him. I want to see Darnell, and I want to see Pat Freiermuth in the middle of the field. I want to see them in the middle of the field and owning that, and us not living in our fears and not throwing it there, because when we do, good things happen. So yeah.
Those are some good ones there. Really good choices. By me going last, I always have to scramble and try to find one. So I did a lot of scrambling while you two were talking. So I'm gonna go with Caleb Johnson. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Thank you.
I just wanted to see
Give him the helmet.
I just wanted to see Smokin Jim's reaction there. Smokin Jim's reaction. Yeah. All right. All right. Here's the real deal. The reason I stopped you initially, and I only wanted you to provide one because the one I was thinking of, you said also the offensive line.
Yes.
The offensive line, everyone. The Steelers actually had, from a rushing standpoint, 131 yards on the ground. Okay, 131 yards. So I applaud the offensive line. You know, a lot of times we beat up the offensive line. When they do good, we have to recognize that, you know, they did a good job. And, you know, it was scary at the beginning, right? Because Gene, who left, but I'm talking to Gene, even though he's not here. The first play of the game, Aaron Rodgers got sacked, and Gene said, it's gonna be a long one, a long game. They're gonna get us. And I mentioned to Gene, I said, well, hold on 1 minute. I said, remember, the same thing happened in the Jets game. The same thing happened in the Jets game. And it turned out okay, huh, Gene?
I was wrong.
and you're happy about being wrong. Of course.
I'm happy with the turnout of the game. Political answer.
So again, I'm giving the game ball to the offensive line. Are you cool with that?
I'm more than cool with that. Yes.
Okay. Okay, excellent.
They did a great job.
Excellent. Appreciate it.
And just to that point, before the game started, PFF had Kenneth Gainwell. Chances for 100+ yards was 4%.
Wow.
4%. And then for DK, his chance for 100+ yards was 16%. So I think those numbers show you that the Steelers really outperformed expectations, and we couldn't have done it without the offensive line.
Now, just go back to DK Metcalf, which let me take a look at my sheet again. DK Metcalf, Ken actually selected DK Metcalf for the game ball. He was tied for the leading receiver from a yardage standpoint at 126, tied with Justin Jefferson. Okay, so Justin Jefferson had 10 catches for 126. DK Metcalf had 5 catches for 126. Now think about this as well, fellas. I mentioned on my pregame report. I normally do like a 2 to 3 minute pregame report, and it's on the radio stream every Sunday before the game. I mentioned trying to get the ball down the field to DK Metcalf. Okay, I wouldn't call that down the field. I would have to take a look at how many air yards the throw was. Okay, however, where I'm going with this, DK Metcalf, if I'm not mistaken, has more yak yards. Okay, yards after the catch, yak, YAC, than anybody in the NFL. Okay, that's on tape, Smokin Jim, Ken. That's on tape. It's a bye week, fellas. So
Yeah.
what's going to happen?
I think right now he's actually based on ESPN. It looks like for the season.
Yeah.
It does look like yards after catch. He's ranked 17.
I thought he was 1.
That's what I thought. Didn't they mention that?
Yeah, I thought he was 1.
I thought he was too, but he has 97 yards after catch, which is ranked 17th.
No, it can't be. That's not updated. I mean, he had, what was his long today?
It might not be this week. You know what I mean?
He had an 80-yarder, and then even before today, he had a long one.
Yeah, because this is not updated because August one on here is 31.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I will recall that comment.
But nonetheless, my point is it's on tape for the defense to try to defend, which I think is going to allow the Steelers an opportunity to truly go downfield.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we have to also watch what goes on with this injury to Calvin Austin III as well. Right.
Little brother, he's always getting hurt.
Well, he's a slender guy. You know, he really is. But hopefully he won't miss anytime or a lot of time. I'm not sure.
He plays like a big dude.
Yeah, he does.
I like it. I love his attitude.
He's hurt all the time.
That's all
big
right. Hey, he plays like
Cleveland Browns used to have a guy they called Ice Cube that was 135 pounds, and he didn't get hurt as much as Calvin.
Yeah. How many? I'm not sure.
Webster Slaughter, all them tough
guys.
guys.
To be honest with you, I don't remember him missing a whole lot of games though.
Who's that?
Calvin Austin III.
He missed the whole season.
Right. After that.
What did he do? It's an ACL his first year.
I think he had a tender foot.
Oh my goodness!
You're tough on him, man.
We did get
you're tough on him.
We did get a comment on here on YouTube. Who to goat again?
Okay.
Said that DK Metcalf gets a game, Paul. So I agree with you. Who to goat? Absolutely.
Thank you.
And then he also said that offensive line was solid today too.
Yeah.
So he agrees with you as well.
Excellent.
I completely agree.
Roman Wilson got some of the best hands I've ever seen in my life, and they won't throw him the
They
ball.
won't throw him the ball.
I thought, and actually on my pregame report, I mentioned that maybe this week could be the week to get the ball to Roman Wilson.
Well, Scotty Miller was out
it
there
didn't
instead
happen.
of him.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
And I don't know what it is. It may be something that is not football related. That is keeping him off the field at this point. But we need to. I think if Calvin Austin's going to be out at all, I do think that Roman Wilson we need to get him on the field to see what we have.
That wasn't a good sign because I was looking for Roman Wilson once Calvin Austin III went out, and it was Scotty Miller.
Yeah.
So.
And I agree with both of you guys. We missed George Pickens and never should have gave him up.
I didn't say that. I did not say that.
Yeah, I don't remember.
You're crazy.
And it'll be very interesting what George Pickens does since CeeDee Lamb is out.
I do miss George Pickens, the player. I'll say that. Like, miss him and what he can do.
His athletic ability.
Yes, because his athletic ability is off the charts.
But I didn't want to get rid of him. I wanted to see what he could do with an Aaron Rodgers and a DK Metcalf.
Yeah,
I did want to see it. However, I understand why we got rid of him.
Oh yeah,
okay. I definitely
down.
understand why we got rid of him.
Understand.
Well, I think when you're trying to put together a lot of different players like that, you have to have a positive environment. And what he brings to that environment is not a positive outlook. You see him having crash outs mid-game all the time. You see him taking bad penalties throughout the game, showing up, late to meetings, not showing up to practices, those kind of things. You have to have a buy-in from every single.
I don't think he missed practices, but he was probably late to some practices.
Okay,
yeah.
I thought he missed some as well. I take that back as well then. But you have to have the full buy-in of the entire team. Not to mention the Steelers were not. We know now that they were not going to be signing him to big money. So why not move him?
Get something for him.
Yeah, why not move him? Get something for him rather.
They was already going to get a third round, whether they trade
compensatory.
Yeah, absolutely. And
I don't think are compensatory picks that high. Third round.
Yeah, third round is the highest it can go.
Okay.
No, I don't make mistakes.
I know you don't. But why not get it a year earlier?
Well, Frank Pollard was 44.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So that's my outlook on it. I that day when we traded him, I was kind of in shock. I thought we were going to give it a run with DK and GP, but it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
It so shocks me.
And check this out, everyone. You heard it here first. Okay. Omar Khan likes to move when things are quiet. The Steelers are coming up on a bye week. There's been a whole lot of talk about the Steelers getting a bona fide number 2 wide receivers. Okay. I understand the Steelers have like 12 picks right now. If the draft were to occur today, there's about 12 picks somewhere in that neighborhood that the Steelers will have. Okay. Calvin Austin III got hurt today. I'm not sure how long he'll be sidelined, if any.
Or if he will.
But this could be a blessing in disguise for the Steelers to go out and get that number 2 bona fide receiver.
This is the 700th day they've been talking about getting
You're
us
right.
2 years in a row. It ain't going to happen.
You're right, but it seems maybe I need to go on vacation. Maybe that's what's going on, because every time I'm on vacation, Smokin Jim, they make a move.
And Smokin Jim, I'd like to get your input here, because the beginning of the year, it was all about, hey, the next quarterback, the next rookie quarterback that the Steelers are going to draft is going to be coming out this year. Based on, what are we at, week 5 in NCAA football, based on the 5 weeks we've watched, a lot of the names that were high on the board have now dropped quite a bit because of their play. What is your what is your perspective? What is your input on, is that quarterback still out there? Do you see the Steelers taking a quarterback this next year or this next draft? And if so, who?
Well, I've been saying all offseason before last draft that Jackson Dart was a perfect Pittsburgh Steeler. Now I'm saying, listen, the Pittsburgh Steelers don't care about winning the Super Bowl. They care about winning the draft. The draft is here. That's the reason they passed on the quarterback in 2025. They're going to take a quarterback in 2026 because it's a big splash. Like Kevin already said, they got 12 picks. They'll probably have about 17. Every time you turn around, there'll be a former Steeler up to the mic announcing the pick. But the best quarterback I've seen so far, and let's see if he can stay healthy, he's hurt right now, is the quarterback for Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, not South Carolina.
Well, I don't think that the South Carolina Sellers is outstanding. He's been hurt too.
That's what.
And
I
he's
thought
young.
you were going there. Yeah,
He'll come to training camp at 20 years old. I think he might stay another year. Another guy that I love that I think will stay another year is the Oregon quarterback.
Dante Moore.
He's outstanding, but the quarterback that I think that'll be draft eligible, that'll be available when the Pittsburgh Steelers pick, and I would pick him if I had the number 1 pick if I needed a quarterback, is a kid from Oklahoma.
John Mateer.
Okay.
Can I just comment on that?
I would if there was 20 rounds in the draft, I wouldn't take the quarterback for Penn State.
No, I think we learned that yesterday, that he's definitely out of that conversation.
He was shaking.
And the Steelers may take him.
Yeah, I know. I do like Fernando Mendoza out of Indiana.
Yeah,
6'5", big
special.
arm. Played with Cal a couple years ago. So.
All right, so let's get back to the post-game show here. And again, the numbers, everyone, is on your screen. Please give us a call. The phone lines have been quiet today. Also, you can text us. We have received a number of texts, but it would be good to get some phone calls as well. 412-213-8995 is the phone number. Also, please set your schedule for this Tuesday, 6 to 8 p.m., for Soul Tape. We do Soul Tape, Pittsburgh Sports Talk Show with Ken and also James Taylor, JT, every Tuesday from 6 to 8 p.m. So we talk about all the Pittsburgh sports. That crazy game that Pitt had yesterday, Penn State going down, the victory. Fellas, I was starting to get worried coming here because, I went to high school at Aliquippa, and my Quips went down on Friday to Newcastle, and then on Saturday my Pitt Panthers went down to Louisville. I'm like, come on, Steelers. I mean, I can't have a trifecta of losses here. You got to help me out here. So the Steelers helped me out and brought home the victory, 24-21. So just to get back to Soul Take, we talk about it all. Ken mentioned the Ryder Cup. We're going to talk about that if we have to, Ken. WNBA playoffs are going on. So, yeah, we talk about all the sports on Soul Take.
I heard you mention every sport, but the other one that they played yesterday.
Which one?
There was a
the
game.
Penguins.
Yeah,
the
there
Penguins.
you go. There you go.
Kim was there for Marc-Andre Fleury.
Yeah.
His
final game
as a Pittsburgh Penguin, which was fantastic.
Yes, it was.
And that video is out there on YouTube as well.
Yeah, a lot of videos out there.
Yeah, so please check it out, and hopefully you're a subscriber of our YouTube channel. If not, please subscribe. Tell your friends, family, loved ones, even the people you don't like.
And it's
okay.
It's
Take one for the team.
Yeah.
Take one for the team.
It's
Yeah.
the easiest and the free way of supporting what we do here at Pittsburgh's DSCN. So we support you, or we appreciate you for supporting us.
That's right. That's right.
And don't forget, our Cleveland Browns beat the Green Bay Packers. That's an
big.
NFC North team.
Yeah.
We support the NFC North, don't we?
We do support the NFC North.
That was last week, Smokin Jim. That was last week. But I want you to plug your show, what you're doing, Smokin Jim, as well.
And I tell you what, man, it's just such a pleasure to say. For the last 25 years, I've been a co-host on Steel City Sports World, hosted by Luther Dupree. Hey, Luther, it's okay to give somebody credit other than yourself. We also do the Amani Christian Academy football games. We do the City League football championships, the girls and boys basketball championships in the city. Also, for the last 14 years, every Tuesday night on BPTV television, I'm the co-host on Pittsburgh Sportsline with L. Levine, the talking machine. This year we celebrated our 1,000th episode.
Wow.
And to put it in perspective, Seinfeld, 180 episodes.
Wow.
All in the Family, 205 episodes. Gunsmoke, 635 episodes.
He's aging himself.
Gunsmoke. We're celebrating our 14th year, starting October 11th. We also do boxing, Gold Glove boxing championships, also professional boxing. I've done 6 pro fights with Roy Jones Jr., 8-time world champ, 4 fights with Iron Mike Tyson, the only 3 ever at the PPG Arena, only 3 boxing matches ever at the PPG Arena. Also, I'm the director of the City League Hall of Fame with Achieving Greatness CEO Bill Neal. This will be our 11th year. We had 10 straight sellouts.
When is it this year?
This year is December 6th.
So it's coming up. And do you have some of the people inductees?
Well,
or not yet?
We're just still in the nomination phase.
Okay, got it.
And again, I'm also regional senior vice president and regional director of the Pennsylvania State's All Sports Hall of Fame. And, there's 18 chapters that I oversee. I'm one of the highest ranked officials in the state of Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And this year, on October 11th, when I joined 7 years ago, we had a hard time getting one Black person inducted into the State Hall of Fame. This year, we got a record 6 going in. Charlie Batch.
A sports Hall of Fame?
Oh, Pennsylvania State Sports Hall of
And
Fame.
hard time getting a Black person
It was hard.
Wow.
It was
Really?
hard. I had
Wow.
to fight and get promoted. Now we got 6 going in for the first time ever. Charlie Batch is going in, 2-time Super Bowl champion. Gary Brown, if you remember him from Penn State, running back for the Houston Oilers.
Okay.
Dr. Karen Hall that played at UNLV.
Yep.
How about Sam Clancy, the only player in Pitt history with 1,000 points and 1,000 rebounds? He got his number retired.
And that's basketball.
That's
and
basketball.
he transitioned to football.
And
in the
how
pros.
about Swin Cash
Swin
is coming back to get inducted.
Nice.
And the big one is a former heavyweight champion, world champion. I'll be his host the whole weekend, and we're gonna get in some trouble, brother.
Uh-oh.
The Manasseh Mauler, Michael Moore. That beat Evander
yeah.
Holyfield for the heavyweight title.
Excellent.
Before he got knocked out by George
Excellent.
Foreman.
Got it.
So we got 6 going in. We're really excited. If you want tickets, it's going to be October 18th at the Sheridan in Station Square. You can contact me at 412-298-4157.
Okay.
I got tickets.
One more time with that number. Yep.
298-4157.
And if you missed it, you can always text us and we'll make sure that you get that information. So Yeah, Smokin Jim, you have a whole lot of things going. All right, so before we take another break here, as far as the game, the Steelers over the Vikings, 24-21. It was a nail biter, and we were hoping that we would have a comfortable victory, but that did not happen. But the Steelers still did what was necessary to bring home the victory. And now we talked about Peyton Wilson and how he actually stayed in the play and hustled, but he wasn't the only one that stayed in the play and hustled, and he wasn't the only one that made a big play that's not going to hit the stat sheet. How about our guy number 77 for the Pittsburgh Steelers, Rodgers Jones? When Aaron Rodgers ran out of the pocket for a first down and he was stripped of the ball, Broderick Jones said, well, I'm still in this play. I'm going to follow the ball. That's what Chuck Noll used to say, right? Run to the ball, run to the ball. That's why Franco Harris had the immaculate reception, because that's the way he was taught. Run to the ball. You never know what's going to happen.
You never know.
You never know. So Broderick Jones, he was still running towards the ball, and he was fortunate that the ball came back to him.
Just hit him in the chest.
Right?
Yeah.
But again, that's one of those that
by the way, Franco
won't
Harris
show
was
up.
actually loafing on that play. He was just in the right place at the right time.
I don't see it that way, Smoke. I can't get with you on that.
He wasn't supposed to be nowhere around that
I can't
place.
get with you on that. I can't get with you on that. The greatest,
and I love Franco.
The greatest play in NFL history, the immaculate reception, 1972.
Do you know the name of the play?
I don't.
66 circle option.
66 circle option. Desperation. That's what that was, a desperation play. All right. So from a game standpoint, the Steelers defense still gave up a lot of yards. I think it was somewhere around 350 yards for the defense. But the most important stat, again, was the scoreboard. Do you see that, Ken, number?
We gave up
total yards.
350 passing yards. Let me pull up the full.
So it was 70 yards rushing. And I got 302 passing yards because there was some sacks there that I think takes that away. So roughly about 370 yards.
Yeah, 372 to be exact.
372.
Yep. And we had 330.
One thing I would like to see the Steelers finally do, and this is just going off the top of my head, fellas. I don't think there's a game this year so far where we've led in time of possession.
No.
Yeah, I don't. And again, I'm just trying to go off the top of my head. So I definitely believe that we need to do a better job in that regards. But okay, guys, we are wrapping up the second hour of the Black and Gold post-game show. So we'll go ahead and take a break. And when we come back, we'll have an hour left. We are going until 4 p.m. And Ken, you still have to give us an update on the games around the NFL. So if you could do that when we come back. And then what we'll do as well, we'll see if there's some player interviews that we could let you watch and hear as well. So we'll do all of that and more when we come back.
Looking for a cost-effective way to help increase your company's bottom line? Look no further than Soul Pit Media. With our award-winning print, internet, podcast, and Soul Pit television options, we can help your business get to that next level. For more information, contact Craig Dawson at 412-407-7685. That's 412-407-7685. And let Soul Pit Media take you to that next level.
Business owners thinking about back-to-school promotions and replacing summer flavors with pumpkin? What about your taxes? Reduce your stress and tax liabilities by planning for tax time now with Cameron Professional Services Group. CPSG takes your goals, values, and visions to create a custom tax plan catered specifically to your business. We work closely with you to ensure that as your business grows and goals shift, so will your custom plan. Located in the Hill District in Pittsburgh, PA, CPSG is a CPA and consultant firm, providing services in accounting, auditing, tax planning and preparation, community development, and operational management. Call Cameron Professional Services Group today at 412-251-0607.
Have you had the Beat by Niche experience? Beat by Niche is one of the top makeup artists in the city of Pittsburgh. She's touched the face of Cardi B, love and hip-hop personalities, and various Steeler wives. If you have not sat in her chair, what are you waiting for? Visit beatbyniche.com to schedule your special makeover for all occasions, weddings, graduations, proms, photo ops, and more. Visit beatbyniche.com and experience the touch of excellence.
Pittsburgh, it's an old school party. Yes, each Saturday we throw it back with some of the best old school music, funk, R&B, old school, rap, hip hop, and all the jams that make you move and dance. Yes, check it out. Each Saturday right here on Pittsburgh's DSEN. All the old school jams, 6 to 11 p.m.
Pittsburgh, have you seen our Sunday radio schedule? Ooh, it is lit. Start the day off with our Sunday gospel music from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. It will inspire you and have you praising the Lord. Then from 3 to 8 p.m., we bring you Sunday jazz melody for all the jazz lovers. Then cap off the night with The Quiet Storm from 8 to 11 p.m. to hear the best smooth, romantic, and soulful R&B sounds of yesterday and today. All that each Sunday on Pittsburgh's DSEN, the place for soul.
Hey, we are back. Welcome back, everyone. This is Pittsburgh's DSEN Black and Gold post-game show. So we are enjoying this 24-21 victory over the Minnesota Vikings. This Sunday morning, afternoon, we are live from Cloud 33. Pittsburgh, PA, Penn Hills Shopping Center. We are here until 4 p.m. wrapping up everything. I'm Kevin Cameron, Smokin Jim Frazier to my right, and Mr. Ken Craig to my left. So earlier, we gave away the defensive game ball, okay, each of us, and we also did the offensive game ball as well. So we cover those bases, and just in case people joined us late, or if you're listening to the recording, because all live shows are recorded, for the defense, here are the game balls. Patrick Queen, Ken selected, Jim selected, Canu Benton. I selected Peyton Wilson. Okay. On the defensive side of the ball, offensive side of the ball, Jim selected Kenneth Gainwell. Ken selected DK Metcalf, and I selected the offensive line. You look perplexed there, Mr. Gene Wilson. For defense, I picked Peyton Wilson. Peyton Wilson had 13. He led the team, 13 tackles. Hold on, 8 solo, 2 tackles for losses. And what did not show up on the stat sheet was his rundown of the 81-yard reception. Okay, but everyone up here, you agree, right, Smokin Jim? He had a really good game.
I think he had a really good game. And,
yeah, he
and
did.
I think
he did.
I think what
pick up the mic.
And I think the one thing
and Gene Wilson wants to pick up the mic and comment on that.
I just want to say something really quick.
Okay.
Him stopping that from that touchdown
Slide
going
over
in,
to your right too, please.
From him stopping that touchdown. From that going in, saved about a minute, or ran like the clock ran for an extra minute.
Right.
So it took a minute off the clock. And gave that kind of to the Steelers, right? I mean, that saved an extra minute.
I guess that was planned, huh, Ken? I guess he planned. I'm gonna tackle you at the 3
But those are the results.
Come on,
that's the result.
Those are the results.
That's called being a stretch.
That's not planned.
No one mentioned. Okay, listen.
No one mentioned what?
No one mentioned. Well, before I say that, let's talk about how when people have been getting criticized. When players get criticized, right?
Yeah.
And then when they come and have a great game, they can't get a game ball. We can't recognize them. Benton, he played a heck of a game.
He's on the list. That was Smokin Jim said Canoe Benton.
I knew the smartest person at the table would have the correct pick.
Okay. Well, he went second. He went before me. I went third. So
are you saying that's who you would pick? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Okay. So then you know what? I can get off the mic. My point has been made. Thank you very much.
Don't leave so fast. So again, defensive game balls. Ken picked Patrick Queen.
No.
Okay. So hold on. Smokin Jim picked Canoe Benton. I picked Peyton Wilson. So replace one of those 3 with yours.
On the defensive end?
On the defensive side, game balls. And
no problem. I got it.
And Gene Wilson is a former basketball player and coach as well.
He was I
was more of an offensive player than I was a defensive player, so don't judge me for my defensive.
Well, but you know, good defense. If someone holds you down,
That's
you
true.
know that.
That's very true. That's very true. I think because we criticize, and I can't pick any of those because you already picked them. I think I would go to the secondary because the secondary gets criticized so much. So there were a number of blown coverages throughout the game. I understand that, but there were a number of also people covered their back. Elliott, I think him coming back, I think he made a difference in the secondary. So he would be my first guess. I mean my first choice. Based off of you all picking everyone else.
Elliott. So you will replace one of the ones we have for Elliott.
Oh, you did say replace. I'm sorry. No, I would not.
Okay.
No, I think the list that you have is really good.
Good.
No one mentioned T.J. Watt on his interception. No one mentioned.
Honorable. Honorable mention.
He was an honorable
Cameron
mention.
Hayward. You know, he had a pretty good game today too.
Yeah, we're not giving it out for a pretty good game.
I want to switch my seat. I don't want to sit over on this side of the table.
He's on you, Gene. He's on you. So yeah,
you have a good list.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Because you were screaming and hollering.
Yeah.
before.
Thanks for your approval.
I thought I heard you say that's who got the game.
That's who. Like
one
our
of
choice
the,
was.
That was your choice. Yeah.
So if you pay attention to the show,
is that what it is?
all right.
Yeah. Exactly. And since you mentioned Cameron Hayward too, I'm looking for him on the stat sheet. And I don't even see he didn't have a tackle, I don't think, which is unusual.
Well, you know, people make impacts in different ways. You know, so the fact that he was a good teammate.
Matter of fact, I think his brother has what do you call it? I can't think of that. Bragging rights.
Yeah, it says Cam Hayward hit the quarterback once.
Connor Hayward had 1 tackle. Cam Hayward didn't.
Boswell
didn't have any. Boswell had a tackle. That's right. Yeah.
Over Cam.
So that's very.
Now you have a
unusual.
great. That's a great list.
Okay.
I think for today's
Thank you,
game,
sir.
that's a great list.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
All right. Okay, so since we were interrupted, that where where were we? Oh, we were talking about Broderick Jones, right? That his recovery, that fumble recovery, doesn't show up and will not show up on the stat sheet, but it was very important as well. Anything else that stood out, fellas, for the game? Anything else that stood out?
No, I think it's really nice because and I know Smokin Jim, I know you cover and do a lot of work watching football, right? And I think you could speak to this when our run game is on par and we're effective and first down and second down, it opens up the rest of the game. If our run game is getting stuffed on first down or second down, the rest of the game just almost stalls, right? And last week I feel like we ran on first down almost 100% of the time, whereas this week I think we ran on first down. I don't have it pulled up right now, but not nearly as much. We had a lot of throws on the first down. Steelers passed on first down 6 of 19 times. We ran on first down 11 of 19 times. So, a little bit more, in terms of the passing on first downs. What did you think about our play call and how that, or I'm sorry, not our play call, our run game, how that helped secure victories?
Well, the first thing I thought is don't get used to it. Our top two backs is too light to fight and too thin to win. We're a Scalaboo away. The Pittsburgh Steelers should have drafted Scalaboo. He's going to be rookie of the year, him and Jackson Dart. And you need a complimentary big back to bang in there. Those little guys did good today, but you can't bank
You don't
on
like Jalen Warren?
Gainwell. Who?
You don't like Jalen Warren?
I love him, but Jalen Warren's always listen. He's never had Jalen Warren's best role is a third down back and occasionally playing on first and second down. He's explosive, but when you give him a lot of activity, he does what he does best. He's like Deuce Staley on the sideline with a hoodie.
So what I'm hearing is we didn't replace Najee Harris effectively.
You can't replace a guy like Largie, 242 pounds, firecracker. Listen, you can't replace somebody like that.
1,000-yard rusher every
yards,
year.
4 years in a row.
What
nobody's done in the National Football League that's currently playing.
Are you really using 1,000 yards?
Yes, because nobody else has done it. No, listen, our backs is on pace for 500 yards apiece.
Well, 1,000 yards went away, once they hit the 14-game schedule. I don't value the 1,000 yards.
The backs right now are on pace for 500 yards. On pace for 500 yards in the 17-game. That 1,000 look pretty good about right now.
Yeah, well, and I think those backs that you're referring to are probably not primetime backs. Okay, but if you take a look at somebody like Derrick Henry, who's totally different.
Oh, yes.
Saquon Barkley.
We don't have them.
That's why I say they're totally different. So if we're talking about average running backs, that's different, is my point. I still don't use 1,000 yards, is what I'm getting to.
Even though
1,200 makes more sense.
Sure, but I think what we're missing is like that workhorse that will lean.
Scatterboo
that will
that
lean,
we wanted
on
on draft.
3 yards, right?
I think if Jalen, I think if Jalen Warren can stay healthy,
the assistant coach,
I think he could do a good job.
That's if.
But
he's not going to stay healthy.
Well, you're right. We had another
He got $12 million guaranteed reasons why he ain't going to stay healthy.
Yeah.
He ain't going to play hurt.
I still say the issue is offensive line coach.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
The offensive line coach. So I think he's on this last year of the contract, and I think the Steelers are doing as good as they can do better, but they had a good game today. And the thing about it as well, one of the things I put down on my notes, and I've said this for this game as well, and I've heard national pundits say this, that the Steelers are going to have a hard time if they can't run or if they can't stop them run. Okay? Now, in today's game, we were able to run and we stopped them run. So that needs to continue, right? So Minnesota has 70 yards rushing. The Steelers had 131 yards rushing, so 61 more yards than the opponent. Okay. So if the Steelers could continue to do that, now their play action pass is going to be more of a weapon. Now they're going to be able to keep Aaron Rodgers cleaner because they're able to run the ball, so you don't have to pass as much as well. And you keep the defense off balance. So it's hard for them to bring the pressure with them being off balance is my point.
Well, let's not keep trying to keep hope alive. In 1970, Frenchie Fuqua ran for 218 yards, a record that stood for the Steelers against the Philadelphia Eagles for years.
Okay.
And he's not even the top 10 running back in Pittsburgh Steelers history.
Okay.
So this is not going to continue. This was a one game.
You weren't impressed. You weren't impressed?
Yeah, but you can't. You can't live on hope. They ain't gonna do it next week.
Well, that's why I said
they ain't gonna do it in 2 weeks.
They definitely won't do it next week.
Because we're in bye.
They're in a bye mode, but I believe the next game is
now. And if they play Lou Nichols, the best running back on the team, I don't know why he's still on the practice squad.
Wow.
The guy gained 1,700 yards for Central Florida. The guy can run. Central Michigan, he's outstanding. Lou Nichols got the size, he got the vision, and the Pittsburgh Steelers for some reason won't play him or Roman Wilson. I can't understand that.
We have a couple of texts that came in. Ken, you want to share those texts, please?
Yeah, absolutely. Will the Steelers' offensive line be able to protect Rodgers the entire season? And the second one, let me just say this one too, because we'll factor this in as well. And who do the Steelers play next? And what do they need to do to prepare for that game?
Okay, so the first one, I think, will they be able to protect Aaron Rodgers for the full year? I'll say yes. I would say he can't do anything but get better. And I do see this offensive line getting better. I think they could go much farther if they had the right offensive line coach, much farther. But I do see them getting better. Keep in mind, this was a difficult defense, Smokin Jim, to go up against, a Brian Flores defense that disguises. They move their players around. They like to blitz and bring the pressure. And the Steelers gave up 2 sacks and one at the beginning of the game, the first play of the game. So they basically went the rest of the game giving up 1 sack and no interceptions. Now, I'll let you two hop in before we talk about who they play next, if you have any comments.
I do, the one thing I do disagree with what you said is that they can only get better. Because they could definitely.
They should only get better.
They should.
Let me restate that.
Yeah, no, they should. They should. I am a little worried about health. One person goes down, it could throw this entire thing into a windfall. But overall, I think that compared to game 1 and compared to game 4, I think it's been a big difference. I think both tackles have looked a little better. I think I do think they need more development, which I hope we could see throughout this year. I don't think Pat Meyer is going to be the one to develop these players. They definitely need to bring in
offensive line coach.
Yeah. I don't think that he is someone that is a developmental type coach, and I really hope that they get that because we have a lot of high draft capital invested into this offensive line, and there's some big boys that could be really good if they're developed correctly. And I really don't want to see them go somewhere else and shine because I have a feeling that's what's going to happen. However, I do think they've stepped up a little bit. I do think they've gotten a little bit better. They shined today, but we should be. This is how it should be. This should be the standard right now, and how they're performing. So, this is kind of what I expect, not what I'm excited about.
Well, I agree with everything it can, but take it one step further. I like the packages I've seen that the offensive coordinator did today. Sometimes you had three guys on one side, and they weren't always blocking. Sometimes they blocked. Sometimes
Arthur
Mount
Smith,
Washington, yeah,
offense coordinator Arthur Smith.
yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes Mount Washington went out in a route. So I like the help that the combos that the help that they're giving the offensive line, and a lot of times it's disguised because you think that they're going to double team, but you're getting Mount Washington and some of these other guys involved in your pass patterns. I really like that.
Okay. Now, the Steelers play their next game, I believe, is against the Browns, the Cleveland Browns.
That is correct, right after the bye.
Sunday, October 12th. Is that a 1 p.m. game?
Let me confirm that. It will be 1 p.m. That is correct.
All right, so a home game. So
Home game.
Steelers need to win for the first time this year at Acrisure Stadium. So, fellas, what I'm going to do, I mentioned that we need to do some player interviews, and I have one ready to go. So let me get that all queued up. And it's from the Steelers starting quarterback, Mr. Aaron Rodgers. And it's about 14 minutes long. We won't play the whole thing, so I'll cut it off where I think, he made some important remarks that we can talk about. So I'll find the right spot. So here we go.
Well, I'm excited to be a part of the first game over here. This place means a lot to the organization because of Ambassador Rooney spending time over here. So we're just trying to get acclimated after the flight and excited about seeing what the fan response is.
Derek Ulak from Pittsburgh.
Yep, recognize you.
How was the flight? What could you do? Mike, you talked about trying some pre-acclimation stuff. Anything that can you do with it?
Well, there's a lot of great sports science around all of our schedule, and we started everything 90 minutes early this week. There was, Gabe spent time with a sleep specialist, which I'm sure was a riveting conference, wherever that was. But we had a lot of things that we were instructed to do. I slept a little bit on the flight. Flight attendants were great. The flight was great, and try and stay up today and get some rest tonight.
Aaron,
yeah.
From Cortina. Now that you are officially Steeler, we were just wondering, is this a kind of a payback from the Super Bowl that you won us back in 2011?
Payback. You know how the league goes, maybe you don't, but there's so much turnover. That was a long time ago. That was 14 years ago. So the only person kind of directly impacting the game from that Super Bowl was Mike Tomlin. So there's not a lot of people that have any, thankfully, memory of that or any bitterness toward myself about that. But, it's fun to be in the AFC North now. And so happens to be we played the NFC North this year, which I have a lot of history with. So it'll be fun to obviously get out there Sunday against a team I played against many times. And then eventually, Green Bay and Chicago and Detroit.
Hi, Aaron. Freddie from the Franchise Tag Podcast. This will actually be your 32nd time you play the Vikings, and you're 18-12-1 against them. So
yeah, that one was a tough one. Yeah.
That one always hang there.
Yeah.
What do you expect from this Vikings team every time you play them?
I played against Harrison Smith a number of times. Great player, Hall of Fame player. Always enjoy our battles over the years. But over the years, they've had a lot of great defenses. Some of it's been schematic driven, I would say, with like Mike Zimmer and Coach Flores. And then some of it, back my first start, they had incredible defensive line with Pat and Kevin Williams and Hall of Famer Jared Allen. I mean, Pat should be in the Hall of Fame. And Ray Edwards on the outside, and great linebackers, E.J. Henderson, Ben Liebert, Chad Greenway, one of the best nickels of all time, Antoine Winfield, Seth Griffin, Sharper, the great defense, my first start. So I remember the battles we had in the NFC North over the years. This, great defensive scheme, great players, a lot of new guys, though. I mean, look at even my time in Green Bay, my last year in 2022, not a lot of guys on that defense who played in that game besides Harrison.
Aaron, Chris out with DK Pittsburgh Sports.
played against Brian Flores in this defense last year with the Jets. What do you remember about how they attacked you, and how is that helping you prepare for this game?
Well, we were overseas in the country a little bit to the east of here, different island. You know, we turned the ball over. I turned the ball over too many times that game, but we had a chance late in the game to win the game. But, you know, they brought some zero pressures. They played sticky on the back end, got after us up front pretty good. But we had a little surge there in the second and third quarters and begin the fourth to get back in the game. So, you know, when you're playing Minnesota, it's going to be a four-quarter game. Our defense played well and kept us in the game, and you know, I just didn't play well enough to win.
Aaron, I'd like to pivot from The Athletic. Along those lines, you know, we saw the benefit of what you can do at the line of scrimmage just last game with Calvin Austin, the touchdown. What's the cat and mouse game like with a guy like Brian Flores when he's going to throw so many schematics at you and he's going to move guys around before the snap and everything like that?
He's a great coach, but he's not on the field playing. The cat and mouse is really with the Harrison Smiths and the Murphys of the world and Isaiah Rodgers and their linebacking crew, and then, you know, the great edge players they have, 58, 43, and 15, who are multi-dimensional players who can drop into coverage, rush the passer, and get sacks, and get in the passing lanes as well. So it's aware of where those guys are at and trying to be smart with the ball.
Brooke Pryor, ESPN, you said a couple days ago that you were looking forward to having a Guinness, specifically a Guinness on tap. Have you had one in the couple hours that you've been here? Do you anticipate being able to have one before the game?
Well, I like my Guinness on tap. I haven't seen any taps around here, but I went to, years ago, I was on the island in a different country on this island, and I had to go to 4 different bars to find a Guinness on tap, so I'm hoping that's not the case tonight.
Aaron, you talked about Andy across the pod. You talked a lot about the off-season, about wanting to work with Coach Tomlin. What's he been like so far to work with since you joined the Steelers?
Better than the expectation, honestly, and the expectations were pretty high based on what I'd heard about him. But he's a great leader, great in front of the room, the epitome of a player's coach, in that he you know, stresses the importance of accountability, but he has a personal relationship with guys in a way that he does very effortlessly. So it's been a lot of fun working with Mike. He's a fantastic guy, fantastic coach, and it's a great organization too.
Stop.
All right, so
Don't get a
we
HELOC
are
until
back.
you know about HEI. HELOCs
That
are
was
loans. You
Aaron
borrow,
Rodgers,
pay
and let me
interest,
make
and
sure I
monthly
have
payments.
the other
HEI,
screen
no
on
interest,
as
no monthly
well.
payments. HELOC adds
While I do
debt,
this,
HEI
Ken,
doesn't.
your
You get
thoughts
cash
on
upfront
the
and
5
repurchase
or
your
6
option when
minutes
you
that we
cash
did
settle,
here.
refinance, or sell. HELOC, strict credit and income requirements.
Flores is a good coach,
HEI,
but
500
Flores is
minimum
not on
credit
the
score
field.
based on your home's value with no
Big
income
statement.
requirement.
That is a big
HEI is a
statement.
smarter
Yeah.
way to access your home's value.
You know, and
Check
I'm
out
pointing that
Spotero.com.
out for a couple reasons. One, what a thing to say. Because you're shouting out like, yeah, Flores is a good coach, but it's the players like Harrison Smith, you know, Byron Murphy, Byron Murphy, those players who are really the ones that he's having that battle with. That's a reminder to everyone who says we lost Brian Flores. We let Brian Flores walk out the door, right?
I would have kept him.
Oh, I would have
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
But that's a reminder that, you know, sometimes it's you can, and I think Bill Cowher said this, right? You only have the horses that are in your stable, right? And right now we have some really good horses in the stable. We gotta use them correctly. But back to the point though, like it's about the players that are on the field as well. Keeping them multi-dimensional. I think that was really cool to hear. What about you? What about
Jim? Smokin' Jim?
Smokin' Jim.
Tell you what, Aaron Rodgers cracks me. I could listen to him all day and all night. He's just a funny guy, man. I'm trying to be funny. And I agree with everything Ken said. That, you know, although I disagree because, you know, Aaron Rodgers is a player, and maybe sometimes players don't realize the effect that coaches have on developing players throughout the week and throughout the months and throughout the years. And Flores, Kevin, is somebody I would have kept.
Business owners and sales.
But he's over there now. And who would ever thought the Pittsburgh Steelers would have Aaron Rodgers leading them maybe to.
Wow. You're saying that already. Maybe to a Super Bowl.
Oh, and if we go to the Super Bowl, you know who's going to be the MVP? I'm calling it right now.
Who?
Caleb Johnson.
Good comeback, Ken. Good comeback. Good comeback. Yeah, for sure. Aaron Rodgers, I thought he was, let me be honest. I always try to. I didn't want Aaron Rodgers initially when all the talk about the possibility of him coming to Pittsburgh. I wanted to keep Russell Wilson. But probably a week after we got Aaron Rodgers, and I had a chance to actually watch him practice as well. I thought that he was a good fit because he could still throw the ball. And one of the things that I pointed out about Aaron Rodgers, the most important thing as a quarterback, you have to be able to read the field. Okay. You're not going to be effective if you can't read the field. He knows where he needs to go before the snap of the ball.
Hands down.
Which is so important.
It's what we didn't have with Justin Fields.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, he still has a good arm. So I firmly believe if we could keep him healthy, upright, relatively, that the Steelers could do a lot of good things because I just see this team getting better. We have to be able to run the ball, though. We just have to. So I'm encouraged with what I saw today. We have to be able to stop the run. I'm encouraged with what I saw defensively today with stopping them run as well.
Let me ask you. Yeah. If Aaron Rodgers stays healthy, and if Aaron Rodgers has a good season this year,
right?
You think he comes back for one more?
I think so, and I think it'll be a good thing. I think so. And I'm laughing because Eugene Wilson, he has a stogie and he's shaking his head no, which is all good. But we'll see. We'll see. One of the things as well, we had someone who texted in and talked about what do the Steelers need to do to win their next game against the Browns. I think they'll be thoroughly prepared for it because they'll be coming off of a bye week. But those two factors again that I mentioned, stopping the run and being able to run the ball are important.
Myles Garrett, 3 sacks.
Hey, I wouldn't put it past him. I would not put him past. He's a beast. So, and Aaron Rodgers, we know he's limited, but at the same time, Aaron Rodgers is smart. He has a quick release. So he'll be aware. I think the Steelers will have a real good plan. I think it's a great time to have a bye before going up against Myles Garrett.
I agree.
Yeah.
They're a very, very good defense, a very strong defense.
And we're coming up on like 25 minutes left. Ken, do you have those scores?
Yes.
NFL scores.
Absolutely. Let's run through them. A lot of these games are currently in the fourth quarter, so let's run them down before it starts getting to the end of the games.
Yeah.
All right. The Falcons still up on the Washington Commanders. There is 8 minutes and 48 seconds left in the fourth quarter. The Falcons are up 31-24. Going to the Bills and the Saints. This one's closer than I expected. 8 minutes and 53 seconds left in the fourth quarter. The Bills are up 21-19.
Now, hold right there, Ken. Hold right there, because I hear a lot of talk about New Orleans possibly having a worse team in the NFL. Smokin Jim, you mentioned it. It's hard to get a win in the NFL. I don't care who you play. You can't take any games for granted.
No.
Right? No games for granted. So I just wanted to point that out. The Steelers aren't the only team that go up against some of these subpar teams and don't play their best. Go ahead, Ken.
Yeah, the Giants. Just starting the fourth quarter, winning 21-18 against the Chargers. Looks like Cam Scattaboo just scored. The Buccaneers and Eagles game just started the fourth quarter. Eagles are up 31-20. The Buccaneers are making a good push. 4 minutes and 50 seconds left in the fourth quarter in the Titans and Texans game. The Texans have a good handle on this game, 26-0.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
They need that win.
The Patriots and Panthers game, 11 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Patriots are up 42-6.
Over who?
Panthers.
Over the Panthers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
The Lions and the Browns, 13 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Lions are up 27-10.
Okay.
What else do I got here? I think I missed one. I did not. So that's all we got for right now.
Excellent. So what we'll do, we'll queue up. We have Mr. TJ Watt, his post-game interview that we need to listen to as well. So let me see if I could cue that up, and let's hear what Mr. TJ Watt had to say. And again, we'll just play a portion of his interview. Here we go.
Doing our job, that's the offense doing their job. Special teams had some great plays too, and it's a whole lot of fun, man. Steel Nation came out today and really showed out. Really happy about that and happy about the win.
DJ, any meaning behind the celebration of putting the ball in the stands under the session?
I was just trying to get it to the stands. The stands are so far away. I knew if I threw it, I'd probably hurt my shoulder. So I was just trying to get the fans involved as much as possible, and they were incredible all day.
DJ, we heard something happen to your teammate Skylar while he was here, Skylar Thompson. Is he doing okay? And have you heard anything about that?
I don't have enough to comment on that.
Just raise your hand if you need something. Go ahead, up front, you guys.
Yes, and we will probably be drinking many more here shortly. It was incredible, and hats off to the Rooney family for establishing this culture here and having this fan base follow us the way that they do. I think you have to acknowledge the Rooney family first and foremost, and the fans were absolutely incredible today, and I wish I could say I'm surprised, but I'm not. They're everywhere, and they're incredible, and it was a fun atmosphere today.
Were they max protecting you from blood, and how were you guys able to get the pressure?
Yes. Yes, very much so, and that's why it's just trying to find any way to get to the quarterback, trying to impact the game as much as possible. I thought Herbig had a hell of a game on the other side. I thought Keanu had a hell of a game inside. Obviously, Cam pushing the pocket inside. I think it really doesn't matter who eats. We're going to see a lot of max protection. The guys in the back end did a hell of a job covering. I thought even PQ and Peyton and 25 when they were blitzing were huge, and we were just playing fast football. We knew what we were doing today, and we were flying around.
All right, so those are some of the comments from Mr. TJ Watt, his post-game interview. And
Yes, he's
I'm
using
gonna
a
make sure
Gorilla
I
pillow.
set
How
this
can you tell?
down
Have you heard
as
about
well.
Gorilla
It is good to
Ergo?
hear
It's the
that they knew what
cutting-edge
they were doing
ergonomic pillow
today.
that people
I don't know.
actually look forward to laying.
I say that in a facetious way, but kind of not.
Yeah, a couple plays I saw miscommunication. But go
Yeah,
ahead.
but they were flying around today.
Yeah.
It was nice to see. I think, man, I'll say this straight up. I think Herbig, when he's on the field,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like every time he's on the field, there's going to be something that happens.
You mentioned that before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like when he's on the field, like he flies around out there, and I think his energy is a little. I don't want to say contagious, but I think other people feel like they can make a play off of his speed too. So, I don't know. It's just something I've seen. I think Herbig's a bigger impact than we're making him out to be. I don't want to lose someone like Nick Herbig because I think he goes to another team. He's gonna be special in this league. So I like to keep him around for a long time.
Yeah, it'd be good. And people forget Alex Highsmith has been out, 2 or 3 games
Yeah.
here. Joey Porter Jr. has been out 2 or 3 games as well. And hopefully the Steelers will come back. We'll have to find out what is going on with Calvin Austin III. However, outside of that injury that happened today, hopefully everybody else will be able to come back healthy. And again, the Steelers pull off the victory against Minnesota, 24-21 in Dublin, Ireland. And we mentioned how important it was for the Rooney family to get that game. You just heard it from TJ Watt as well. How happy they are to be able to win it for Rooney family. And also, TJ mentioned a number of names on that defense that we mentioned also about having good games.
Thanks for listening, TJ. Thanks for tuning in after the game.
So Herbig, he mentioned, even though Cam Hayward didn't have a recorded tackle, he mentioned him pushing the pile. Who else did he mention there?
Yeah, he mentioned Keanu Benton. He said Nick Herbig had a hell of a game. But he mentioned Patrick Queen and Peyton Wilson, and 25, who's Deshaun Elliott in the back. I'm sure they all appreciate him being back. He's he's a baller out there, and we knew that last year. So grateful we signed him for another year, but he's been missed. I think Ramsey, and once him and Ramsey get on the same page too, I think they could be dangerous together. Speaking of, do you think Ramsey's hamstring will keep him out at all? What do you think there?
It's hard to tell with these players. Ramsey, he's an older player as well. He did come back into the game.
Yeah.
So that's good. I think he'll be all right, given that he came back into the game and it's a bye week. I think he'll be fine. Yeah. Smokin Jim?
Can I please give an update? I always forget. I've been on the radio for 2 years.
Okay.
And I
All right.
forget. Every Saturday from 2 to 3, I co-host a radio show on 1250 AM, which is a very strong signal. The host is Ralph Williams. Co-host on there is Claudio Rosano.
Okay.
Listen, before I talk about Jalen, don't forget that TJ Watt, who should have a statue built outside the stadium for him. But TJ
Are you
Watt,
sure?
TJ,
Are you sure?
TJ Watt also mentioned something happened to Skylar Thompson.
Yeah, he got jumped.
And I tell you what, we cannot afford to have the tight end trying to play quarterback, Will Howard, in there.
Right. What happened to him? I missed that.
He got jumped the night before.
Last night?
Yeah, while they were out in Dublin, he got jumped and robbed.
That's unfortunate.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Well, let's
better to back up.
Well, yeah, let's pray for fast recovery. The
Better to
world
back
don't want
up
to
than
see Will Howard in there.
better to back up than the starting quarterback, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, don't forget Jalen Ramsey was a track All-American at Florida State.
Yeah.
And track guys always have bad hamstrings. Scar tissue builds up there.
Good point.
So it could be a little longer because you don't want to rush him back. He's such a phenomenal player.
Yeah.
And if he plays 5 years for the Pittsburgh Steelers, he'll go into the Hall of Fame as a Steeler.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
Ah.
Oh, yeah. I already got him.
Can he get a Super Bowl with that?
Well, other than Rod Woodson, there's not a defensive back that ever played for the Steelers. I put it here to Jalen Ramsey.
And I want to correct something I just said about Skylar. This was Friday night. So early Friday night, early Saturday morning.
Wow.
That it happened.
Okay.
Not Saturday.
He
night.
wasn't at the Virginia-Florida State game and got trampled. No, that didn't happen.
And we have a call too, fellas, that I want to pick up. Luther, are you there? Hold on 1 minute, Luther. You're not coming through, so I want to make sure you are good to go. If you could hear us, go ahead and talk. But I'm gonna go ahead and try to change some settings here. I'm not sure if you have your phone on mute.
Sometimes that's the best way to listen to Luther on me.
Luther, it sounds like everything is good on our end, but you're not coming through. I might have to just give you a call back. Let me try to change the settings here to try to get you on the line with us.
Still on that government phone.
Still on that All right, Luther, go ahead and hang up, Luther. I'll make sure I call you right back to get you on. All right, so he went ahead and hung up, and I see there's a change. And what game do we have on? Atlanta is still winning, and New York is driving. So it's 21-18. New York, is that the current score?
That is the current
Because
score.
I know that the NFL Red Zone, that might be the NFL Red Zone, sometimes they're behind. But let me see if I could get Luther Dupree on the line. I've Smokin Jim, I think I have his number anyway. He wants to talk about Mike Tomlin's decisions, which we've been talking about as well. Okay, so the number was given, but I think I have it already. Any other comments while I try to bring this up, Ken?
Yeah, thanks for passing it to me. I appreciate it.
No problem.
What do you think about the fans? And I know that, don't get me wrong, I know there's a lot of Steeler bars and fans and everything all over the world. But do you think that crowd was more fans traveled, or do you think that was more an international fan?
I think there's a good many people that made their travel plans
Yeah.
around going there, but there's so many Steeler fans and Viking fans in Ireland.
Yeah.
So I think that Mr. Rooney being the ambassador of Ireland, promoting the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's face it, pro football's too slow really to be an international sport. They like something fast like soccer
Yeah,
and this and that. So it's
absolutely.
really hard to, but that was a great crowd.
It was.
There wasn't an empty seat in the house,
And
so.
it's really funny that you say that football is slow, because a lot of Americans, I don't think that they realize that football is a slower sport.
Yes, sir.
I cover hockey for Pittsburgh's DSCN, and
Oh, great.
it's a very fast sport and a very international sport. So that's a good take. I like that. That's really good.
Thank you, sir.
I hear Luther.
Yeah. You hear me?
Absolutely.
All right. Hey, I'm enjoying the show, guys. Enjoying the show. Hey, a couple things. I would have called in earlier. Jim was giving his resume. I called back in. He's still giving his resume. Oh, my God.
There you go.
The longest thing ever.
He turned the page.
Credit, but I always give you credit, Jim, but when you take 20 minutes to get your introduction, I don't think
I hear you. I hear you.
Real quick, a lot of people were talking about Mike Tomlin's decisions earlier. I missed some of the first half because, the first time trying to watch it in church, we had to stay in service, so I missed a couple plays. I didn't be able to see the whole first game, but I missed the first 1.5 quarters. But I did see one thing I did notice early in the game. They were getting DK Metcalf the ball in positions where he could take off. And Jim, you said he lost the step. I don't think he lost the step. On that 80-yard run, he took off. A guy had an angle, and nobody caught him. I like that. As far as Mike Tomlin, I'm very confused. I think towards the end of the game, it was the fourth, and I guess about fourth and goal from the 6-yard line.
From the three.
Okay. And Mike Tomlin looked like he was going to send in the field goal unit, and Aaron Rodgers kind of persuaded him otherwise.
Yeah.
And I think, and I understand Aaron Rodgers is a Hall of Famer. You want to listen to him, but if you're going to do that, put it in his hand and throw it to DK Metcalf.
Yeah.
Or throw it to Wayne Watson. I think somebody had mentioned that.
Gene said the same thing. Yeah.
I wouldn't give it to Gainwell. Yes, Gainwell was having a game of his life, but it's not like you're handed to Saquon Barkley.
Right.
He wasn't going to power his way in there.
I agree.
So I didn't like that. And then they did try I guess their version of a tush push late in the game, 3rd and maybe 1 yard. But 4th down, do it again. And somebody said living in his fears. I didn't like that. I think he was still second guessing himself from not taking a field goal, later on in the 4th quarter. So I was disappointed in that.
Yeah.
But once again, he continues to add to his resume. In 1 sport games, he's the best in history. So all I'm hearing, I'm getting a bunch of text messages. They're saying, they won the game.
Exactly.
There were some things we didn't agree with,
Exactly.
but his record says for itself. Every time they're in one-score games, usually the Steelers win. So he's doing something right.
Definitely.
He's doing like that.
A lot right. And is this probably the first game of the year, fellas? Well, really, let me take that back. The second game, the second straight game. Maybe it's our post-game show.
I think
I
it
don't
is.
know. I don't know. Maybe it is. But the second straight game where the Steelers played the better game. Definitely today, the Steelers played the better game because this game really shouldn't have been as close as it was. No,
Right.
the Steelers stopped the run, and they were able to run the ball, and they got turnovers.
Absolutely. And as I did like Broderick Jones, we're talking about some positive plays he did this game. Following Aaron Rodgers recovering the fumble. He wasn't, on tape for a lot of bad blocking or giving up. So I was impressed with that. There were holes for the running back. Taylor Johnson, he had a nice 9-yard run, but I agree with you. I don't think he did.
What?
He got his feet wet. He could get them as wet as they're going to get. He's not going to get any better. Him, Scotty, on the other hand, and I see it on our draft show, Jim. They should have drafted and we agreed on that.
He's a beast.
Putting up 100 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah.
And he was in the fourth round.
Wow. Yeah, he's
I don't
a
know
beast.
what scouting department was doing as far as running back, but they picked the wrong guy.
Yeah.
And we're going to continue to see that over and over again.
I could agree with you on that, Luther. I could agree, but I'm not giving up on Caleb Johnson.
He gave up. I was holding out hope all through preseason.
And
I've given up. And I think all of us will.
And let me tell you something else too. I'm not real. What can I say? I'm not real high on the offensive line coach that I mentioned, but I am high on the running backs coach. Okay, I'll have to get his name so I could give him credit. And I say that because I believe that Caleb Johnson could be developed. Basically, what I'm talking about. We got to keep in mind, everybody isn't ready to play in the NFL right away.
I think he looks running back next year.
You could never.
We're running back next year.
You could never have
it's a nice change of pace, but he can't stay healthy. I mean, he had 3 weeks of practice, didn't get hurt his knee during the week. I mean, he plays hard, but physically, I don't think his body can hand up as the number one lead.
And
so we'll be looking. And Caleb Johnson's not the answer. They did bring up Thurman, from the practice squad. I don't think he's the answer either. So we'll be looking. And the last thing I want to say, Terrell Austin. Again, I know they had injuries with cornerbacks, but you can't give up an 80-yard bomb with the team on a 99-yard. I mean, they let now run free.
You're right.
Well,
but you got to have people who are on the same page and execute.
And one thing we haven't mentioned actually at all through the show, Jabril Peppers didn't play at all.
I was going to mention that.
And they had Chuck Clark back there instead of Jabril Peppers, and I'm like,
and Chuck Clark messed up.
Exactly.
He let Jordan Clark run right past him. And another thing, usually the Steelers play soft.
Yeah, keep everyone in front of you.
Keep everything in front of you. The game's on the line. You let a guy go free. And Jim, I don't know what happened to Jordan Addison's speed, but the way Peyton Wilson tracked him down, I question if he really runs a 4.5.
Well, remember, this is his first game, right? He's been suspended,
that's
so he's a little out of game shape too. Because you saw him slip
with a 20-yard lead.
Yeah, and you saw him fall and slide.
I don't know. I think he was thinking about the celebration he was going to do.
You're probably right.
Wilson tracked him down that was impressive, but I blame it more. I don't know how you get caught like that, but for us.
Big time. And keep in mind, everyone, Joey Porter Jr., we mentioned earlier, he hasn't played the last couple games. So the Steelers secondary has been a little bit beat up. Elliott just came back. This was his first game back as well.
He gets my game.
Oh, does he?
Nice.
For trouble. and then he ended the game with a batted thing.
Yeah,
Deshaun Elliott.
It's Deshaun Elliott. Yeah, Elliott definitely gets my game ball for the defense.
Okay, that's one we didn't name because I'm not sure if you heard earlier when we went through our game balls on the defensive side of the ball. Ken had Patrick Queen, Jim had Canoe Benton, and I
can't believe Jim gave credit to Ben. Every show I've ever been on him, all he did was whip on him.
And
because he actually showed out today, yeah.
Well, but at least he was objective this game.
The only time. I don't think that would get another 3-2 or 3-sack game. We'll never see Jim give Benton credit. I was impressed with his work this game now.
And then I had Peyton Wilson. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And
sure, he definitely stepped up. I think him getting bent like that for Cole Holcomb kind of woke him up.
Yeah, I mentioned that, Luther.
Sometimes the best motivation is throwing that bit.
Yes. Hey, these are young players, man, and they need to get it. And sometimes you have to take a step back before you could take 2-3 steps forward. So, and I was saying maybe after the bye, maybe he'll be back in the defensive starting position and it'll be improved as a result. But hey,
they're going to be going against the Cleveland team that power runs the ball. I don't know if Wilson in that starting lineup would be the right answer.
Good point.
They're running back the rookie Quinshon Judkins. He looks like the real deal.
He is the real deal.
Yeah.
We're going to have some stopping that guy, so you want to have your run stoppers there.
Yeah. So real quick, because we got like 2 minutes before we wrap the show up. I'm not sure if you heard, and this is from last week when Luther was on. He mentioned Myles Garrett was better than T.J. Watt, but you're saying the Steelers should have a statue for T.J. Watt,
just like the Ravens got a statue for Ray Lewis. There should be a statue for T.J. Watt. And I don't compare. It's like apples and oranges. One's a defensive end and one's an outside linebacker. So I don't compare both of them.
So you're not comparing.
They're both great. They're both in the same class, 2017. But if I had to pick one, it'd be clearly T.J. Watt.
There you go.
The greatest Steeler of all time.
I'm not going there. He's not greater than
You're going way too far. You're going way too far.
Yeah.
And statues are built when you win a championship. T.J. Watt is terrific.
It took 50 years. It took 50 years to get Joe Green's number retired. It took 50 years to get Joe Green.
The Steelers typically don't retire.
Ernie Stotner got his number retired within 5 years.
What was his number?
Number 70. He got his number retired within 5 years. 50 years later, Joe Green gets his number retired. And 50 years later, Franco Harris gets his number retired. T.J. Watt deserves a statue outside this stadium,
50 years.
Just like Ray Lewis.
It's not going to happen.
All right, so
we're going to have to perform in the playoffs.
We're going to go ahead and let you go, Luther, but appreciate the call.
Appreciate you guys.
All right, Luther. Appreciate it. All right. Talk to you later. Bye. All right, so I'm glad we were able to get Luther on. Luther is part of our panel as well. So
texts are coming in about the greatest Steeler. That's just a controversy right there. Lambert, Joe Green.
I'm going with Joe Green. One of the guys here at Cloud 33 asked me also, sometime before the game or during the game, who the best running back was that played for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Barry Foster.
You're saying Barry Foster?
Yep, Barry Foster. Or Jerome Bettis.
Franco Harris guy. Franco Harris. I told the guy Franco Harris. The Steelers don't have that dynasty, those 4 Super Bowls without Franco Harris. Franco won NFL Rookie of the Year. Okay, and there's a whole All-Pro a number of times.
How many rushing titles? 0.
Super Bowl
Zero rushing
MVP. Are you sure about that?
0 rushing titles.
Okay, well, he played.
Barry Foster had one.
Yeah, but how many?
Still got the Steeler record, 1,697 yards.
Do you want the rushing title, or do you want a Super Bowl and the Super Bowl MVP?
If I had my choice,
and he's a Hall of Famer.
If I had my choice for Super Bowl or going down in history as the greatest player, I want to go down as the greatest player.
But that's not being the greatest player.
Oh, there's a lot of people that won Super Bowls that never got off the bench.
Look, seriously, guys, if I had one running back play for the Pittsburgh Steelers, it's Franco Harris, hands down. And Mean Joe Green will tell you they don't win those 4 Super Bowls without Franco.
He sure ran out of bounds a lot. And I love Franco.
And he
I
was
love
smart.
Franco.
And he was smart. And I loved it then. I was like, smart man, smart man. He never showed up for anything from a concussion standpoint, right? Smart man, smart man. All right. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this thing up. It's been great. It's been outstanding 3 hours. I love doing these games after victory. Now, I'm not naive, guys. I'm not naive. There's going to be a show where we're going to sit up here and, we're going to lose. So I'm not I'm not naive, but hey, the more we can win, the better the show will be. Keep in mind, everyone, we come to you after every Steelers day game. So if there's a night game, we won't be here. Okay. Every Steelers day game. So the next day game is October 12th against the Cleveland Browns. I won't be here. We'll let you know who will be on the panel. I'll be at the game and I'll be calling in for my 15, 20-minute report on the game. And I'll be listening as well. So we want you all to continue to listen and watch also. Ken, as always, great having you on. 30 seconds before we wrap up.
Nope, just thank you all for joining. Thank you all for calling and texting and in the chat. It's been a great few hours post game. It was a great game today. Franco Harris did lead the NFL in rushing in 1975.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
I love technology. There you go, Smokin Jim. He's speechless over there. Smokin Jim is speechless. See, people forget how bad my boy Franco Harris was. They just think about.
We just don't have highlights.
Well, they think about him running out of bounds, which he did, but he put his head down when he really had to. Smokin Jim, as usual. Let me cut this off here. Multitasking. Smokin Jim, as always. Great having you on. 30 seconds before we sign off.
Hey, thanks, Kev. And Ken's my hero for mentioning Barry Foster. Yesterday's heroes are soon forgotten. And Barry Foster, the Arkansas guy, was outstanding running back, unstoppable for about his 2-year career. Very dominant.
All right. So 24-21, fellas. I thought you would go a little longer. I think Luther shook you up. And you didn't want to go any longer because I'm trying to set up this.
He took his time on his resume.
But
not his closing.
I'm trying to
he
set
only
up.
wrote his resume today.
I'm trying to set up this ad for signing off, but I'll play the one that I have here. But second show, fellas, I really enjoy it. The first show, we had a lot of phone calls. We didn't get that many. We only had one today, but we got a lot of texts, which was good. So we'll continue to do this again after every Steelers day game. And everyone that listened or watched, we appreciate you. We understand a lot of people watch the recordings. And you know what, fellas, since the Steelers have a bye week, I'm going to guess that a lot of people will watch it throughout the week as well. So if you do watch the recording and you would like to provide your comment on this game, hit us up on the text line and we'll make sure we get back to you. The text line is on the screen, but I'm going to read it anyway. 412-218-3888. And the last thing that I'll say, well, a couple other things. Please go to our website, pghdsen.com, and check out our radio schedule. We always have great content, a lot of great music. When we sign off, you will hear Sunday Jazz Medley, until 8 o'clock, and then the Quiet Storm until 8 to 11. So you can listen to some music in between the football games. I know when I'm on my way home, I'll definitely have Pittsburgh's DSEN on. Also on Tuesday, set your schedule, everyone, for Soul Tape, Pittsburgh Sports Talk. Ken be in the house with me as well as James Taylor, and we always have tremendous guests on that show as well. I haven't decided who will be the guest for this week. But, we'll talk about the game again and the NFL games as a whole. WNBA, we'll talk some golf with the Ryder Cup. We'll talk some college football, Pitt, Penn State, AP Top 25, and even the Pirates. The Pirates wrap up their season today. And Major League Baseball playoffs will start next week as well. The wild card games, which should be really, really good. So, yeah, tune in, put it on your schedule. Soul Tape Tuesday from 6 to 8 p.m. So we'll go ahead and sign off. And as we do, everyone, please be blessed and stay blessed.